You're hilarious.
Real time. Real time. Are you okay, buddy? Are you okay?
You're hilarious. You're hilarious.
Real time. Are you okay, buddy? Are you okay?
Experience. Go to Twitch. You catch the whole lot there.
Messed up my grooming.
Oh man, there we are. What's going on?
Are we
Kind of
there?
look good.
Are we there?
It didn't
There
work.
we are. We are.
Chat
Wonderful.
box in full effects, y'all. What up?
Thank God we're here. We're here. All right. Welcome to Shotgun Candy, ladies and gentlemen. Another week here. Episode 20. Charles Bronson. This is what it's about today. But let me just set the preface of the show. If you can share the show, share it out here on Fireside. Share the link with any other platform as well, to your friends, to your mums. We'd like that a lot. And if you want to send a message into the show, leave it on shotguncandy_podcast_ on Instagram, and we'll get to your messages because we'll hear this sound. Whoa, that's a bit loud. But we'll hear that sound and we'll try and get to your message as soon as we can. If not, then we don't. And it's just the way it is. But throw it over to you boys for a second while I set up this screen for
Absolutely. Take your time, man.
clickable link.
Take your time.
Go ahead.
Oh, Pilot Car is back. What's going on, man? Good to see you. I like this new, these new handles we're using, like these undercover, like Pilot Car. Fucking, like a
Who's
spy,
Pilot
bro.
Car? I'm not aware of Pilot Car. It's kind of a cool name.
Where is that? I'm not even seeing it.
Me neither. I'm not paying attention. I wasn't really looking. Sorry.
We're scrumbling and rambling. We had so much time. We were on like 2 hours before, and yet we're still setting shit up the last second. Crazy. Us boys. Anyway.
Yeah, we did a great
so-
show before anybody else was here.
I don't know about y'all.
Shame.
I was burning the candle at both ends.
I was
Dan,
burning
you
the
were,
candle at
man.
3
You've been
ends.
working so fucking hard for this.
Explain
It's
that.
just been insane. You've
This
been
is
working
it.
hard, but we're here and
last
we're ready to go.
Last week we
And
had a
it's gonna-
successful Twitch outing, but we didn't get to actually save the recording, which was a letdown. But everybody had a lot of activity here on Twitch and YouTube and stuff, which is a place that you can live stream, leave comments. Aside from, remember, we can take live comments as well, right, Rock?
Yeah, we can. We can take live comments through Instagram. And if you want to write on the screen here on Fireside, if you want to write on the screen on Twitch, I believe YouTube too, which I don't know where I'd see that, but I'll certainly see it on Twitch. We'll get to it as soon as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, Pilot Car is Uncle Eddie, by the way.
Someone's
How
got
about
their
that?
volume on.
Can you guys hear
There
me? Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah,
We
turn your
got you.
volume all the way
Okay,
down
good.
on everything.
As long as I'm coming through loud and clear. I don't want to
Sure
pick
are.
my microphone up and put it to my face.
You absolutely,
No, you're good, man.
absolutely are.
You don't want me to do that.
For sure.
Where are we seeing? Where are we seeing Uncle Eddie? Is he on Twitch? Is he?
Yeah, he's on Twitch. It's Pilot Car on Twitch.
Lovely. Uncle Eddie, special shout out to you, brother. Special
Yeah,
shout out to you.
Absolutely. We are going to.
Some of my favorite guys
I'm sure
around,
I haven't
man.
followed already. There
Thank
goes
you.
a follow. Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Yes, dude, spam the chat. Fucking let us know
Yeah.
how you feel. Be part of
Yeah.
the show.
Go for it.
But let's know it's
Do it all.
working. We're still brand new at this, like this extra part
Yeah,
here.
we're
But
still
yeah,
kind of new.
I wanna see
again,
the-
we're figuring it out.
I want to see this new chat box work. So go ham on it.
go hard on it. Go hard like Charles
Go hard.
Bronson does.
Go hard, Pilot
Hard
Car.
motherfucker.
Pilot Car.
Yeah, tear it open like a damn gladiator would.
Yeah.
That's it. So back to you boys.
It's been a long
Just,
week,
you know,
fellas. What'd
oh,
you guys
yes.
do
Yeah,
this
look,
week?
Joey Butts is in the house. He's dropped in on Fireside.
Yo,
So
Joey
Joey,
Butts, what up?
special hi to you, brother.
What's going on, man?
Messages are left at Shotgun Candy _podcast_ even you troll motherfuckers. Go ahead and leave a message. Let yourselves be known.
Do it. Leave a message, man.
Dude,
We need to hear from you people because we really didn't do any studying and we have no topic. We just came up with something just off the fly. So
I don't even know anything.
Oh, look, we do have a message here from Jane Cougar Melon Balls. It says something like this.
Jane.
If it ever needs be, just hit me up in the backside.
Oh,
Hit them up in the backside.
that's a good,
Lovely. Okay.
that's a good,
That's a good one.
that's a good contact to have if you're trying to get a new job for the government. You know what I mean?
damn.
Yeah.
And what was her name again?
Her name was Jane Cougar Melon Balls.
I love that.
Jane Cougar Melon
Yeah.
Balls.
I love
Doesn't
Yeah.
sound familiar, but it sounds like somebody I might not want to get to know.
it. Sounds like a little.
Yeah, no. Vicious.
It's a tiny.
Damn.
So where are we at, guys? We're here on Fireside. We're here on I'm just
We're in a few
here.
places, man.
That's
Yeah,
big.
we're on Fireside here. We're on Twitch. We are on YouTube. We're on, is it Trovo? Is that what it's called? Trovo? And I believe we're on our Telegram as well.
We are
But
live on Telegram and Rumble.
We are live on Telegram.
And Rumble.
And we're on
And Rumble. And Rumble. Beautiful.
Don't forget Rumble. That's one of the best
Rumble.
platforms around, man. Rumble.
I can't confirm that, but the button was pressed. So
Rumble.
Aye,
We're
aye,
there,
Captain.
baby.
We're ready to rumble. Whether we're rumbling or not, we don't know yet.
Yeah, let us know. Anybody on Rumble, drop us a line. But for anybody who doesn't know how our show works, I mean, I think Rock has a pretty succinct way of
Me,
showing the new customers.
I'm not sure how it works yet.
Yeah, Rock, would you tell the newcomers, anybody who might be watching on Twitch or Trovo?
The
Trovo,
latecomers,
Trollo.
newcomers.
Tripo. Hey, we've got some hearts there from Crystal Tweaks, is it? I can't read it from this distance. That's why I'm having trouble with Twitch. But is that Crystal Tweaks? Shout out to you, Crystal.
Hey, Crystal, what's going on? Thanks for
Sounds like a
joining us.
meth head to me.
Oh, come on now.
Just saying. Hey, everybody's welcome. Don't hide it, divide it. We got things to do. I'm tired.
Don't hide it, divide it,
Don't
man. I
hide
like
it,
that one. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
Right.
about. Come on now.
So, no, we don't judge
So-
anybody.
No, we love
I
you.
do a
We
little
love
bit.
you. Thanks for being here.
Not for Chris. Not for you, Crystal, though. Crystal. Hearts back to you, honey.
Probably a lovely lady, I'm sure.
I feel like crystal meth might be a waste of money because it's just. I don't think you get
Depends
the
on
bang for your
how
buck.
much you got to get. Depends on how much you like cleaning your house.
I mean, I haven't done a teeth melting amount of crystal meth, but I just found it to be a waste. Let's just put it that way.
Hey, you could end up being the president's son if you with the right attitude.
That's true. Yeah,
Do enough of that
yeah,
shit.
that can do.
You know
it.
who knows a lot about crystal meth?
Who?
Who's that?
Jane Cougar Melon Bowls.
If it ever needs be, just hit me up in the backside.
There
Hey, you
go.
want me to
Yeah,
piss
she
in your
loves it.
ass or what?
Just waiting to bust that out for you, Elvis.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you
man.
go.
We have our
one-
offices in New York City. Picked up that sound over on 9th Avenue.
Yeah,
it was sent
we got
over.
the-
Yeah.
That was just a public display of affection there that we had to happen to catch on audio.
I mean, unbelievable.
Just happened to. It was the two of them that came together just like this.
If it ever needs be, just hit me up in the backside.
Just hit me up on a man. That.
That's your cue. AC, that's
You
your
know what's
cue.
funny? We heard
I'm
that,
sorry.
I think
that
the
exact
pause-
conversation.
Do
Just
they
pause.
always go together?
Hey, you want me to piss in your ass or what?
Do you?
Yeah.
It's just some dude, man. Just some dude off the window. We caught him off the fire.
It's funny though because that's the second time we heard that statement or that question in the same day. It's just we happened to record it the second time. I don't know. There's a lot of people running around asking that question in New York. I don't know what's going on. You guys look out for the monkeypox up there. That's all I'm saying.
Stay woke. But it seems like he has an agenda. Like he's done this before. Like he's just like, look, I'm fed up. I have other asses to piss in. Let me
It sounds like it was part of his job.
keep it moving.
Maybe he's a professional. He's like, look, man, I got other clients. You want me to get this
Hey, you want me
done
to
or
piss
not?
in your ass or what?
I got shit to do. Keep it.
Kind of,
fucking
I mean,
moving.
when he puts it that way, I'm like, you know what? I'm not in the mood anymore.
Right. God damn it. Well, hey everybody, welcome to fucking Shotgun Candy. Do you guys know what there's a special topic that we talk about every week. I'm not sure if you guys know how our show works, but it works thusly. We take a topic every week and then we do our own research. We come together on Sunday morning. We try to be as filthy as possible, as informational as possible before church. And then we come together and, do what you will with the rest of your day, but you're going to leave informed, hopefully needing a shower and a little bit more informed, and hopefully you laugh with us. So that's what it is.
You might get a little PTSD. It's possible.
Who doesn't like a
I mean,
little bit
it's
of
happened.
post-traumatic
It
Down
has.
syndrome, you know?
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. What is it? Robert Downey Jr.
It's Robert Downey syndrome, I think you
Robert
meant.
Downey
We'll
Yeah.
just let that one simmer.
Fuck
Someone
that
else can
up.
come up with the punchline. We'll just let
Goddamn, fuck that up.
Iron Man, everybody.
Trampled it over like, please, someone take this.
Someone help me. I
Do
came
better.
up with a joke, but I haven't finished it.
Do better. Do better.
Hey, you want me to piss in your ass or what?
Anyway, we can we're going to talk today about a guy who's really, really special. There's so much to talk about. Are you guys ready to move into our today's topic?
Let's do it, man. Let's power
We
through, buddy.
We are, but we've got a couple of messages I think come in. Let's just get them out the way first, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's do that. We're going from Joey Butts. Here we go.
Guys, it's great to see you again. I'm glad you're back. Real quick, who was that beast-sounding individual talking about to hit him on the back? Where was it?
That was Jane Cougar Melon Balls, and she says something like this.
If it ever needs be, just hit me up in the backside.
Hey, you want me to piss in your ass or what?
Yeah. So that's it, Joey, and hi to Felicia that just dropped into the room just for those moments.
Thank you.
If you're wondering if the show's completely like this, it is. So you either want to grab a coffee and hang around and see what it's about.
Yeah.
Or you want to go wash your hands and cry. Either way, you're going to have fun somehow.
Not mutually exclusive. Go wash your hands, cry, come back, learn something, laugh, go wash. We're
doing all three at the same time.
We've got a message from Worm that says, "Are you guys getting my messages on Twitch?" I don't know. I've had to switch Twitch off because I can't actually check the messages properly from there. So my bad.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm gonna have to leave that to you, AC.
No, let's go to here. So let's move on to our another scene here. And absolutely, I have messages from Pilot Car and I have messages from Crystal Tweaks, which we love and I am going to follow. So yeah, here we are. Should have complete access to chat here. Worm, try chatting again.
Try chatting again, Worm.
Yeah, chat in with us.
There you go.
Yeah,
we've got another message from
back, man. We should be able to read them in real time or slow time.
They're not coming in. Hi guys. See, that's me just doing it right now. So saying hi. Just nobody's chatting. So.
Oh, well, what the hell's the matter with you? We got to get more people on Twitch and start chatting. You know what
seriously.
I mean?
Yeah, I don't get it. Hi guys, what's going on?
Yeah.
Don't make
Joey's going to let us know what's up.
Yeah.
Here we go.
What is that?
Oh, guys, it's been so long since I've heard from you, and I come in here and whoever the dirty mouth is talking about peeing in someone's butt. What's going on?
No, it's a question. It's not. That guy has a job to do. Are you gonna? I mean,
he does it well.
I think he was hired for a specific job, and he's ready to do his work. Like a regular man. You show up with your tools, lay down a tarp, and you get to it.
Lunch pail, tarp.
Yeah, exactly.
Make sure the lunch pail is nice and closed so that none of the. But hey, he's ready to go to.
He might be a union.
Maybe just a train of people behind. It's like, hey, come on, who's next? All right, pee in his ass.
He's a union worker. He's got his 20-minute break at 10 o'clock. Then he's got another 3-hour lunch break at noon.
Coffee break.
And he's got another break at the end of the day, and then he goes home. 2:30, he's home watching Maury Povich or something like that.
And then
he's got shit to do, man.
His specific job is to pee in someone's ass, but then they're like, hey, do you mind not only peeing in the ass, but do you mind like just taking a finger and just swiping up? And he's like, no, I don't do that. I'm union.
Yeah, no, we got guys for that.
We got guys for that, man.
We got crack spacklers that take care of that shit.
Specifically an ass peer. I pee in asses. Go ask anyone else that's not a part of a union, but you can't ask me.
Yeah, it's the International Urinators Union Brotherhood. He's got.
I own this room. I have Pilot Car, which is Uncle Eddie says, I own this room. I have to let you in. I'm holding this room ransom. I think he's talking to Worm at that point. Yeah.
Oh, come on in. Everybody can.
Everybody's welcome here. Everybody's welcome here. Look, do you see who's here, everyone? Who's able to watch us on Twitch or YouTube? There's a guy here, and he's in makeup, right? It looks like he's doing a play, maybe like a one-man show. This man is, I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with him, but his name is Charlie Bronson, or it ended up being Charlie Bronson, but really his name is Michael Gordon Peterson. You ever heard of this?
Is that really him? Is that the real him, or this is an actor?
This is Tom Hardy. This is Tom Hardy playing.
Right, okay. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah, there was a great biopic about this guy, and it was called Bronson. So if anybody's seen that film Bronson, we're going to be talking about the guy who Tom Hardy was portraying in that movie. Very interesting character. Crazy lunatic, but yeah.
Yeah, so much so that, I mean, he would sabotage himself. I mean, let's say he would go to, and we're going to talk a little bit about his early life, but I mean, just to give you an example, he would get 7 years for something, and then he'd assault a guard or, do a hunger strike or hold someone hostage in the cell or grease himself up and beg for an extraction and fight 7 guards. He was really prone to this. I don't know if it was like a grudge or whatever. This guy felt like he had to get back at people. He couldn't be crossed or whatever. But whatever that inner fire was, you didn't want to fuck with this guy because he was on top of it. He owned several records for fitness. He owned several records for I believe like weightlifting and just overall fitness. I would have to look that up. I have some information.
Bare knuckle illegal bare knuckle boxing
Also
in England too. Like
exactly.
that was kind of outlawed, and he was big time into it. He was whooping the shit out of people.
That's right.
He
And
was jacking jaws, and
he was
the legend is that he fought a dog, right?
That's right.
He did. Yeah, he fought a Rottweiler in this short time that he was out for 10,000 pounds. If he could kill it, and he broke its neck. And he said it wasn't one of his prouder moments because he loves animals. So
hey, 10 grand is 10 grand, man. And what he does with his pets in his own time, that's his business.
Uncle Eddie says, yeah, I know Charles Bronson from Death Wish. Wrong Charles Bronson, but he was named after that guy in 1987 after a long stint in prison, a couple of different stints. And trust me, the ladder to get to that point, by the time he got to be called and legally change his name to Charlie Bronson or Charles Bronson, a lot had happened to this man. He had been through the ringer. He put people through the ringer. Extremely dramatic, extremely difficult inmate that this guy would constantly be. He was a horrible cellmate. He was combative. He needed to constantly, fight against this oppressive system. But again, I'm painting this picture, and you can probably tell that I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to, play on your heartstrings a little, because these are people too. Was this person institutionalized? Was this person the subject of having too much, prison time laid upon him and really no ability to get out? Because I can tell you that this man never killed anyone. Well, later on, he became a murderer, but much later on. In the beginning, when he got his life sentence, he was not a murderer. So he was just very problematic. So at what point are you?
He was mouthy too.
Extremely mouthy. And, he also went to psychiatric wards and things like that. So he was, in over 120 different institutions, some of them being psychiatric places where people were talking to themselves, dementia, people thought they were,
And let's put that into a time frame too, because it's not like a psychiatric treatment now where you get muffins and a soft pillow and they ask you how you feel. Right. It was one of those ones where they chained you to the wall and shock you and shit. We're talking about back in the 60s and 70s, right? When the mental health industry was not where it is now. They were just like, oh, you're fucking crazy? Beat him. That'll get the crazy out of him. Shock him.
That's right, Elvis.
Clamps on his nipples.
There was probably no muffins.
To give you a little picture of that one there, boys, is that when he was in those mental institutions, these are his actual words. He said, "I witnessed them running into walls, using their heads as rams. I've seen them fall. Unconscious doing this. They stabbed themselves with pens, needles, scissors. One even blinded himself in one eye, and another tore out his own testicle. There was one that just kept trying to eat himself, biting his arms, legs, and feet. That's the kind of scene he was in back then for those institutions."
Yeah. And that was just like padded wall, like free for all in there. Like they didn't have really trained, mental health specialists and stuff. They just basically had prison guards for crazy people. And as long as they weren't killing each other, they kind of stayed out of their business, right? Plus the medicines they had back then. Who knows what the fuck they were shooting them people up with?
Well, I do have the name of it there.
Pills and stuff.
It was fucked up shit.
I feel bad for people like that, that get stuck in a state-run institution. It's different than like a private thing, because the private thing, their whole goal is to cure you. The state-run ones are just to keep you away from people that aren't crazy. But show me one of those. I've never met one in my life.
Yeah,
everybody's nuts in our own way,
Yeah, that's hard to. And then how are those funds allocated if you were to want to take care of those things? But mostly these things are shunned. Excuse me. These places are not
looked down upon.
You ever heard of NIMBY? You know what NIMBY is?
No.
Not a country in Africa?
Not in my backyard. So
no.
Prisons, insane asylums, anything that gives mental care, people are all about it. I would imagine that a good swath of this country and any other country or continent would want to be sympathetic to people with mental instabilities, and we've talked about it before. However, where are you going to put these things? Where are you going to put these institutions? Who runs them? How are they funded? And then no one wants it in their backyard. So it makes it exceptionally hard to do this. So eventually, there's There's things we can get into about, turn of the century shit where like they really just people living in their own filth, all that kind of stuff. We can get into mental institutions. It's not a fun conversation, but imagine this guy's just combative. He's not, he doesn't think he's, the Pope. He's just combative.
He was like the bad kid in school who always got detention, but instead of detention, they put him in a cage and beat him and stuff.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
The traditional prison system never reforms anybody. It just makes them better criminals and stuff. It's kind of a sick, twisted situation. But where do you stop that downward spiral? I don't know. But exactly it's interesting how this guy. What year did he start getting locked up? When he was like 18, or actually like juvenile too, right? He had trouble.
He did.
Bikes and shit.
It was actually like. I watched a documentary before we go into that. We've got a couple of dingers just sitting there for a little bit. Let's just deal with them if we can.
Let's get
I'll come out there from Joey Butts. It's one actually. Here we go.
Sorry, I dropped my cigarette in the car. Well, listen, if he's union, I'm pro union. I got deep roots in the UAW and Teamsters. So keep peeing, bro. Solidarity. Wait, no, we can't pee with the phone.
If it ever needs be, just hit me up in the backside.
We've got to follow up here from
Hey, you want me to piss in your ass or what?
That was a pretty cool movie. Like when I took from that movie and then I did, read about the dude like a little bit after, he just seemed like one that comes around every once in a while. That's like, once he realized he was old and got strong enough to pummel and beat the shit out of anybody else, that, he was trying, he was going to beat your ass or just go against whatever.
Yeah. So I'll give a little bit of a framework for that, man. So apparently, as a kid, he had a couple of brothers. His parents were pretty good people. They were middle of the class sort of people, and he wasn't really a troubled youth. He was a pretty good child. It wasn't anything that was out of the ordinary. And I think the worst thing that he'd done in his sort of mid-teens was steal some empty bottles at the back of a pub, so him and his buddy could cash him in for some coin. It wasn't anything really serious. But then he started to mix with the wrong group, which started to get into more trouble from there on. And that's kind of where it started. It was, I think, I'm not sure if that was about 17 or 18 years old. Kind of started from that point on, and there was just no looking back from there when it started. But Tron, back over to you.
As a boy, he was a lovely lad. He obviously was bright and always good with children. He was gentle and mild-mannered, never a bully. He would defend the weak. What happened to him? That's his aunt. And I don't know what the fuck she saw in this dude, and I'm sure he's a sweetheart underneath, but, man, that temper is popping. Because, for example, one time he came out of solitary confinement, and he came out with a glass jug, and he fucking popped another fucking prisoner.
That's right.
In the head, and he got more fucking time. I'm sorry to skip ahead, but just to illustrate, this man gives zero fucks. I
think it's one of those. I think it's one of those things like you're not going to beat me kind of things. And it's funny that his aunt said that he defended the weak, because in this situation he's the weak, because he's not the institution with the guards and the weapons and the the cells and the handcuffs and stuff. He's just one guy, and he's whooping their ass. I mean, he's kind of like in a fucked up way, like a Robin Hood hero type guy, like or like the big brother who, when you have an abusive parent, the big brother takes the beating from the dad so the young one doesn't have to take it.
Of course.
Like they had their hands full with this guy for so long. The other prisoners must have been like, man, this is great. All they do is beat up on Charlie. We have like, it's like free time,
But but he used to beat up on other prisoners too. He started to get pretty wild. So
probably only the pussy ones,
Here's the difference. He came from a fairly good home. It wasn't like he came from a broken home. So his aunt and uncle were the mayors of the town he's from, called Luton, not far from London. It's like a suburb, imagine. So it's not like
Face Punch, England is where he's from.
And he got a fucking Cockney accent. It's fucking hardcore. So it's not like he came from something bad or if he was traumatized. It just kind of like bad decision into like maybe laziness, because he did a lot of laborious jobs. He did a lot of jobs like in factories and in places where it's just kind of mindless and repetitive, and that was kind of like But 13 was really his like gang member initiation, kind of stealing something, and then he was known to be in a gang from 13. So from 13 to 17,
13
Rock,
was his unlucky number. Then
and then 17. You're right, Rock. He went ballistic, and so many things happened in his teens. He got married. He had a child. He
he got married and had a kid in his teens.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He met some birds. So she got pregnant and at about 4 months old when it was actually for son Michael, I think his name was, off memory. When she was 4 months pregnant, his girlfriend at the time, he married her, and then they had the kid. But 5 years later, they'd separated. But he was already in prison at that time. So this kind of goes over to when I've got a few stats here. So first, when he was arrested as a petty criminal, he was convicted and sentenced in 1974 at 7 years imprisonment for armed robbery. Yeah. I saw two things. One said he was 17. One said he was 18. One said he was 19. So he was right around there. Yeah. And this is skipping forward. This is skipping through a little bit, but it does go into detail. He was barely a man. But I just like going through this guy's story. And I've heard of him before, and I've never really delved into his story. And obviously, there's a movie out on him which I didn't know. But this dude was just like, I've got to check it out. I really will, especially after researching this. It seems like he was, he's a bit naughty. He was in a gang. He's a bit frivolous in how fucking reserved he was. He was out there just doing shit, as young kids can do, and he was a bit more on the bad side. But it's more like once he got pinched and he went into prison. He just never really got out from there. He got convicted first to do 7 years, and additional time just kept getting added and added and added to his sentences for fighting with other prisoners inside, taking people hostage.
Yeah, he went to criminal training camp, man. Basically,
dude, at a young age,
guy who's just a bad kid with no direction. Like now, I know you're saying something about his aunt. Like, where were his parents? You said they were just normal folks, but where were they at this time? Does it give any indication of
they were around him?
They were with they were around his wife and stuff.
It didn't go into detail about that, but his aunt and uncle may have been the mayors of the town, but his cousin was speaking on behalf of him in this documentary, and they didn't seem very happy with him, but he seemed to be reaching out to them as their family members. But the way she talked about him didn't seem like they were proud, of course. Like I think because he holds the name as like the fucking most dangerous criminal in the UK. Like it's a pretty fucking heavy title. And so that's linked to the family name, right? So they looked like they were kind of suppressing that a little bit,
Well, at least he did legally change his name to Bronson, which is not.
He did.
So people can kind of hide that we're related to him, I guess. But he also, it's also funny how he branded like that. He's like, I need an image. It's almost like he had an agent or something, like we need to change your name and give you this, bigger, larger than life persona.
It's funny that you say that because he kind of did. So when he did some time and he did get out at one point. One of the 2 or 3 times he got out very briefly, it was like for 68 days, I think it was. But because he was so used to fighting in prison, he came out and wanted to do boxing. He did the bare knuckle stuff. He actually did some boxing. And there's a scene of him doing a few rounds of boxing. And he had an agent, like a manager, a trainer for the boxing, and recommended that he change the name to Charles Bronson. Yeah. So he did that legally, and it was more marketable, apparently. But he gets in the ring, and he just starts fucking walloping this cunt. And ding, ding, stops. He doesn't stop. He keeps going, and everyone jumps in, hey, to separate it. By the 3rd round, they stopped it, disqualified him, and kicked him the fuck out of the gym. They're like, nah. He's like, this guy's fucking, like he's a bit of a screw. He's a bit cooked in the head,
And then he was so twisted that like they would put him in solitary confinement. What did solitary confinement do for him? He would stick to a strict regimen of hardening his body and just like exercising every possible chance he got. And that's the way he stayed sane, but that's also how he stayed ready. And you don't see any fat inmates like grabbing a governor.
Yeah, no, dude's big, man. I mean, you can look at pictures. I mean, he's been well photographed and documented stuff. And
he's a monster. Yeah, we're gonna see him.
He's a big motherfucker, man. He's huge.
Yep.
5'10". I saw 2, 5'10", 5'11", 220 pounds. He was just solid, and this is all from just push-ups and sit-ups, man. Like he's using his own body weight.
5'10", huh?
Only 5'10", yeah.
But 220 pounds.
About 220
like,
pounds. He was solid. He
That's
was
like
just a
Mike
solid
Tyson
boy.
size, man.
Yeah, exactly that.
5'10", 5'11",
Spot on.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
That's like a bull. That's a
Yeah.
dude that
He
you don't
was
want
savage,
to fuck with.
man. Hungry
Yeah.
for the fight, hungry for the anger.
It's funny how we
Yeah.
say like just with that, and then he's right. He says like, well, that's Mike Tyson size, and you're like, wait a minute. You know what? That means he must be compact, but just literally a refrigerator.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
just
know?
built like
Yeah,
a brick
like-
shit house, as we say.
Well, what was Tyson when he came out? When he was like 19, he was like 5'10". He was like right around 220, I think, right? Something like that.
5'11", yeah.
Yeah, well, this the same stats I got for him as well.
190 to 210.
Yeah, that's the same size dude. So he must be just built to fight, this guy. I mean, you look at the pictures of him. When
Built to kill,
I
man.
saw some pictures of his fist, man. That guy's got some big hands too, and he's just built to fight. It's a shame that the
Plus, he's an Englishman. He's a Cockney as well. The way he speaks, he's got a good accent on him too. He's like. There's
He's
something
heavy.
charismatic about him. The way he's like, charismatic criminal, if there's such a thing. He sounds like it.
Well, he's an artist, and I think he used his whole persona as a work of art. Like, because I mean, look, we're talking about him, and he's 70 years old now, and he
70
hasn't been.
this year. Yeah, that's right.
I mean, he hasn't been in the public eye for a long time. They made that movie about him and stuff, but that
2008.
was
Yeah,
at
he's
least 10 years ago.
2008, he became a household name there, and that was the first time I saw Tom Hardy. We're talking about that, King, right? This is the first time.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. And then we saw you like Taboo, and so did I. And I thought that that was a super English role where he was just perfect. He's that stocky English guy that you want to cast in your turn of the century English movie. He would have Gangs of New York would have been great for him too.
Yeah, well, he'd be good in everything. I mean, he was that gay guy in that one movie, right? That handsome guy. But
right,
he this Charlie Bronson guy, like
what?
Because he actually is an artist, right?
He actually is an artist. Yeah, his art's been sold for thousands of pounds, which he donates everything to animal and children charities.
Yeah. See, he's a criminal with a soul. But it's funny because I didn't realize that he came up with that name after the boxing guy kind of pushed him towards branding himself. And I mean, you got to remember, this guy, he's been locked up since he's been arguably 17, 18, and he's 70 years old. And he's only been out of prison for how long? A couple of 100 days, maybe?
All up, it was like 151 days or something. He's been out of prison since he was that age of 18 or 19 when he got convicted and put in prison. So now I believe that was over 2 to 3 stints as well. So
he's like a celebrity.
He found a way to get back in. He found a way. Yeah.
Well, you see, with the drive that he has, the only reason he's famous is because he's a criminal. Like, that's how he got his fame. Like, he has never done anything else but
being a hard motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
It was the way.
But it's not like he had a long career before, he was a boxer or an actor or something and became a household name. Like, this dude built this image and this art form of his persona behind bars and became he's written books, right? He's got a bunch of books about working out in prison and shit like that. Like,
he does, yeah. Mm-hmm. That would have all come later. That all came a lot later in life, though. But in his younger years, he wasn't doing any of that at the start. But we've got a couple of messages here, sitting here, guys, about 3 or 4. So let's knock them on the head. We got a few from Joey Butts here. Here we go.
Damn it. His phone. Yeah, no, he was just going against anything that was supposed to, told him, you ever know those knuckleheads, tell them not to do something and they'll do it like way quicker. Yeah, that was me. I never did get to go, toe to toe with Bronson, but you know what? I think he died before I was born or something, but it would have been a good fight.
We've got a couple of follow-ups here.
Oh, so you guys are getting into the movie part. Okay, so I saw the movie. Mm-hmm. I wonder how true to life that movie really was. I mean, I know a lot of movies, they gotta make it a movie, so it's absolutely completely true, whatever. Anyway, that guy that he was talking to, he was like he was like a famous guy or something. He fucked with famous people who gave him the name Brian. He's like Charlie fucking Bronson. Like, he gave him that name and he dug it.
Yeah, the boxing coach or trainer, I believe so. Here's the last follow-up.
Hell yeah, Mike Tyson was he had to be 220-ish because that's heavyweight. That's right around the range that you got to be, like, weight-wise. And he was always Like his opponents were always taller than him, but yeah, he was just so compact and just like a piece of fucking iron. It's Charlie Bronson.
Charlie Bronson. Yeah, we're actually gonna
You know,
watch the
I
trailer to this
I
movie.
heard.
Oh,
Oops, sorry, King.
someone's dropping out a little bit there, but we've got one more from Worm, but we can't hear there properly, Elvis. I think is it
Oh,
me
no.
or is it you guys?
I can hear me.
Yeah, I think it was Elvis just for a moment. It's all good.
All right,
Back.
Who knows?
we just got one more from Worm.
I hadn't heard about this guy before today,
Really?
but I loved Tom Hardy in Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna check out that biopic. And quick question: do you think that the biopic is true to the real life biography?
I don't know.
I think there's some truths in it, but I think it's definitely churched up and Hollywooded up because,
Sure.
you know, I mean, if you tell anybody's actual story in cinema, it's going to have some low points, but, you know, I think the low points in the movie, in the guy's life, they made more interesting with the dramatic scenes and things that they had, like the, you know, the spotlight on him at the Broadway show thing. It's just kind of, they churched it up a little bit, made it interesting to watch, where he would tell boring parts of the stories. But, you know, it's probably as true as Charlie Bronson is, which is kind of a made up lie, but entertaining at the same point, you know?
I mean, but
I think,
a guy with just his Wikipedia is lit. So like, you don't really have to embellish too much. You know, any Hollywood producer was like, fuck, I don't have to write anything. This guy's done
But-
this and that. And he's done more before he was 22 than most people.
touch on some points of that there, AC. Give us some couple of facts off the Wikipedia there, or, you know, as true of facts as Wikipedia puts. Like,
Sure.
I don't want to.
Yeah. So, I mean, 1976 is when it really got hot, because a little tidbit, remember we said 120 different institutions. Between 74 and 89 in total, he did about 120 different institutions in Britain. So imagine how
Wow.
much he was moved, right? He probably didn't stay half a year. I mean, I'm not very good at math, but I would imagine that 3 months.
It's almost like he
Less
was
than that.
it's almost like he was an office gag gift. You know how every year somebody wraps up the same piece of shit gift. They
Right.
just keep passing them around between wardens. You got Charlie this year.
Exactly.
Damn, 120
Dude, like,
something in 74 to 89, right? It's 15 years.
That's right.
He would get to a place and they didn't want him. Like, can you imagine people go, no, we don't want that criminal.
probably there
Like,
for
he's too
days,
much for us.
man.
They just weren't set up for it. Like, in the end, they ended up having to build a special prison, like, section for him in a prison, because he was just so fucking wild, man. Like, he would not comply with anything. He was
No.
constantly fucking shaking that shit up.
One of the best things was, especially if you guys saw the movie, for those who did, was one of his favorite things were extractions, right? So nowadays, I told you, I kind of have a thing for like prison shows. So I would really interest me. Worm and I just did a visual radio about prisons last, and it was really informative because it kind of showed you how horrible it is to be incarcerated for that long, and then how insane you should become, like this person did. I'm sure it was exacerbated by not being able to go outside, hardening your body, your mind. I mean, anything. Just it's like a snap. Anything will just snap. You could be talking to him, and then suddenly you think, "Hey, Charlie, everything's all right, mate." Yeah, and then bang, he just
Snap, he'll just turn on you
What
like that.
happened?
That you could notice the degradation of things over time. You know, first it's
Right.
like he was young and violent, you know, full of testosterone to fight. But in the end, it's like, you know, it was more like, leave me alone. I don't want to. He said he didn't want people to breathe on him. Mouths,
Jesus Christ.
mouths were only meant for talking, nothing more. Like, he didn't want to be around anyone's space. No company. He got so lonely and fucked in the head from it. That was to me becoming institutionalized in being there, right, for so long. However, he does end the whole note, you know, right towards the end, not believing that he was. He's like, people might think I'm institutionalized and I want to be here. I don't. I want to get the fuck out. I want to get home. Like, he wants the fuck out of there. But it doesn't seem like he does.
No, and I'll tell you,
Yeah, because every time he got a chance to, he would do something to
Oh, yeah.
derail that
Right.
freedom.
right.
Like, beat the shit out of the guards when they come to get him out of the cell and stuff, or
Just
get out for a week and do some crime.
I will.
Like how many times was he released in that period? Was he released at all between 74 and 89? What we're talking about, or when was his first actual release from?
His first release was around 70. Hang on, it was 87, right? And that's where he did the 68 days.
That's the first time he got out was from the 70s to 1987.
Yep.
Wow.
And but he was only at 68 days, and then he got pinned for conspiracy of robbery. I think it was.
He went to go do a smash and grab immediately. Like it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like.
He got. Actually, in fact, he did do it right. He did it. He got some jewelry. He got some rings, and he sold all the rings and kept one. He kept one stashed somewhere. I mean, somehow he got this fucking ring into prison because he ends up using that ring, probably from his ring, to put that ring on a girl's finger and marry her down the track.
Right. So that's actually 1972 is when he married his pregnant girlfriend, Irene. 5 months later, Michael, his son, was born, which lives a very private life. He's not about talking about his dad at all. He doesn't even get named in most things. But really, things heated up in 1976 when he actually poisoned his cellmate.
I saw that, but I didn't go into it. Like, so yeah, I wish I'd read more on that part.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
So
he poisoned him. I missed that part of the story.
Yeah, he in 76, Bronson tried to poison his cell neighbor, is what they called him, in Wandsworth Prison. So he moved to Packhurst Prison briefly, where he became acquainted with the Cray twins. The Cray twins were... yeah. Have you heard about the Cray twins?
It's funny because he actually played both Cray twins in another movie.
That's right. Wow.
Tom Hardy.
Right, okay.
Sorry, Tom Hardy.
Yeah. Wow.
That's weird.
That is weird.
You know what else is weird?
He's like the UK's Kevin
If it ever
Bacon.
needs be, just hit me up in the backside.
Hey, you want me to piss in your ass or what?
I was wondering if he might have poisoned him with urine. I was going to ask you.
I mean.
Oh, we got Anthony listening as well, brother. How you doing? It's been a long time since we've seen you, man. Yeah, welcome.
What's going on?
What's happening, man? How you doing? Thanks for being
here.
Yeah. Hey, AC, you mentioned your other show, the Visual Radio, right?
Yeah.
If anybody's listening that hasn't checked that out, you might want to check it out. It's really cool. It's a really cool show. Not like this, but it's got its own. This is the best show ever.
Trumpet
right?
thing,
So clap it up if you think so, because I do. But, yeah. Give AC a follow and Worm also. They're two smart guys and they talk about some crazy shit and they have a good time doing it. So.
Last time was prisons and Worm. We're getting the flow of this. Worm hits the paintings. We set it up. We talk about it. Then I go off camera, which is nice. I become the voice, and then all eyes on Worm as he creates the painting that's going to correspond to the episode. And he's a great artist, by the way.
Really real creative dude, man. He does it so quick. He's like the hip hop Bob Ross, man.
I was gonna say counterculture Bob Ross.
I love it.
And then you can come up. Yes, you, all of you. I'm pointing at all of you. You can come up with me, and him, and really talk about. We had a nurse on the other day. We're talking about dissociative identity disorder. We had, Mr. R, for example, who's another. Guy that really talked about graffiti and what it is to bomb and all that. We really
he's another very talented dude, man. He's an artist in his own right and in a lot of ways,
Yeah. Give it up for them. But
give it up for the artist who didn't end up in prison like Charlie Bronson. I think if Worm was a little stockier, he might be locked up with Charlie, but he's a skinny little dude. I've seen him. He's not going to be punching any Rottweilers anytime soon.
He took the long way around. He had to become like a Charles Manson, like they all they have to be like criminals, lifelong criminals, and then become artists.
Yeah, no, he went the other way.
Just go to art school. Like, do you have to stop killing people?
Don't steal. If you want to do it the quick way, just steal paint and then make art with it. So that way you're getting them all done at one time and you're fast tracking it. That's the key to success, kids. Steal what you want and then use it to make money.
Yeah. You take what you want.
Hey guys, I want to give a shout out to someone in the audience. Small town. Shout out to you, Small Town, for joining in. We were just on a different app the other day, briefly chatting. So she said to drop into the show. Appreciate you being here. So thank you very much, Small Town.
Shout
out to you.
Right. You know who was born in a small town? Jane Cougar Mountain Balls.
I believe so, yeah. And they said something like this.
If it ever needs be, just hit me up in the backside.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Jane Cougar Mountain.
Hey, you want me to piss in your ass or what?
There are
Damn.
schedules for this.
Great.
I have to get to the next appointment.
I'm not prepared for that. And I know it's coming every time you play it, but it kills me.
You know what else is coming?
If it ever needs be, just hit me up in the
I
backside.
might not do it next
Hey,
time.
you want me to piss in your ass?
That just
we should
stopped.
get on with the story.
That was pretty abrupt.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's
All
cool.
right. Well, back to Charlie Bronson. So he poisoned his cell neighbor
His cell.
Yeah, tell me about that.
because
Tell me
he-
about that.
because he was probably alone in the cell because he beat the shit out of anybody they put in with him. So they're like, just leave him alone.
Right.
Damn.
So yeah, 76. He poisoned his celly. He gets moved. Remember, I just said that. And then
Yeah.
it was realized too late that Bronson would likely need psychiatric help. And in December of 78, he was transferred to Broadmoor, a high security psychiatric hospital. This is really where the inmate part was like, okay, I can probably do prison. I'm pretty crazy. I'm pretty crazy. I'm like big crazy in prison. But like once you get to the psychiatric hospital, the one that was built for the crazies, I don't think he looks or feels that crazy anymore. When you have people with dementia, people with severe psychosis, schizophrenia, traumatic brain disorders that do not keep them in reality. So imagine being sane in that. So on top of it, now you're compounding like institutionalization, but also like, I know I'm not crazy, and you're putting me with like the worst of the worst, like insane criminals, Joker status,
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
So, yeah.
Guys in a glass box, kind of crazy.
Right.
Guys that eat their own shit, kind of crazy.
Mimes.
Guys that eat other
Mimes.
people's shit, kind of crazy.
Guys that eat their arms and legs kind of crazy and rip their balls
Yeah.
off and poke their eye out kind of crazy. Yeah. That's right.
How do you?
We
how
got
do
a
you
couple-
eat one of your balls. Like, I guess he didn't like it. Or he didn't have the other one, or he was saving it for later.
There goes that having a ball joke again.
He just had it wrapped in a napkin sitting in the front of his pants.
Are you gonna eat that?
That's for later.
Are you gonna eat that? Or what?
Am
Are you
I gonna eat that?
Are you gonna finish that or can I? Yeah.
Are you gonna finish that testicle? I'd like to eat that.
You know, it's funny.
Oh,
my,
man.
my son was watching a YouTube program the other day, and they had some kids, and they were daring each other. They were teenagers daring each other to do these things where they eat things like a dare show. And one of them was a beef testicle.
Nice.
And they're going, "Oh, you're gonna eat the beef testicle?" And he's just like, "Dad, what's a testicle?" Straight up, I'm like,
Boy.
"It's a ball, son. It's a
There we
ball."
go.
And he's like, "Oh," like he was so fucking shamed out, embarrassed.
Shit.
And I was just like, "Don't worry about that, son. There's plenty
If
of."
it ever needs be, just hit me up in the backside.
Well, you
Hey, you want me to-
son, you'll only ever eat one of those if we go to Wisconsin and visit Southern Hubs.
Hey, you want me to?
Hey, you want me to eat
shit.
that ball or what?
Hey, you want me to eat that testicle or what?
All right, so we've got a couple messages from Joey as well. We've got three
Hit us, Joey.
sitting here. I didn't
Love
get
those
to, and
messages. Spam the chat.
sorry, Joey. Let me sit in there a little bit. So here we go. Yeah, put him in the chat too.
He's in solitary confinement, but he's like, you know what? I'm gonna be in here for a while. It's gonna suck, but when I get out, I'm gonna beat every one of you I can get my hands on. Like the. All right, gentlemen, we're here to escort Bronson back into back into population. Like these guys, Englishmen sweating their asses off.
Follow up.
We can't put him.
Well, like Shawshank Redemption. When Brooks was about to get out of prison, that old man with the bird, he was threatening. He had that one dude. He was going to stab him. He's like, "Get away from me!" And they're like, "Brooks, what the fuck? You're about to get out." And he was scared. Maybe Bronson had that kind of mind. I want to get out of here, but he was scared to go out in real life because he didn't know anything.
Yeah.
You
It
stumbled.
was just to touch
Yeah,
on that. Yeah.
you
Can
stumbled
you
upon the crutch.
imagine like going to eat at a restaurant and then you hit a guy with your tray and take his food? You're like, wait, you don't have to do that here, man. There's plenty back there. They just keep bringing it for you.
You just
He goes to a buffet and whacks somebody with his tray.
you take it back to like the corner
But-
of the mess hall and like drink the chocolate milk all fast. Like you don't have to.
Well,
Turn around and gladiator your friend in the shower.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. You can just ask. There's plenty of people out in public that'll let you do that.
I'm sorry.
You don't have to gladiate for it. You're just gonna ask. Excuse me, can I fuck you in the ass?
We just say, "Hey, man, how do you feel about training today?"
So yeah, you guys want to get a nice training? I'm so sorry.
We'll have a
Where are my
training
manners?
session, just me and you.
May
We'll light
you
some
train
candles.
me.
We'll Netflix and train. What are we watching? Gladiator? Oh shit!
If you guys were there last week, you might know what we're talking about because Roman gladiators love to train. They train so hard.
Yeah,
So
they train hard on each
Sometimes
other.
they train in their mouth.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
The train for the pain.
Yeah.
All right, so we got one
you
from
know,
Joey.
actually, I've heard it from people that were locked up for a while, and they come out and they're like, I don't like it out here. You know, I don't know the rules out here. Because you got to figure, if you go away for 10 years, imagine if you went away 10 years ago and you came out now in 2022 and you just put on TikTok, you would run back to the prison. You'd be like, oh, I can't take this
just
shit.
imagine what you're saying there, Elvis, right? Like this guy's been in for 50 years, a little over 50 years.
Yeah.
So you imagine being locked in a time capsule for 50 years and walking out to the world now with AR, with like smartphones and like video calls. And oh my God, like this would just blow your fucking tiny little mind. And by the way, I say tiny little mind, he was super intelligent too. He's actually really intelligent. He wasn't a fucking dumb, you know?
No, he's a smart guy. I mean, he's got to be smart to be this well known for doing nothing but breaking the law, you know? I mean, how many books has he written? Is that on the Wikipedia page? I know of at least one.
I'm not looking at the Wikipedia. I'm looking at something else with his chronological life order. But
because I'm pretty sure he did a. I don't remember if he did a series of videos of like prison workout shit or.
He definitely wrote books. Definitely had books that were top sellers as well for training in confined places. We've got a message from Joey and a message from Juanito. So let me attend to them.
Nice.
Let's go.
It was the scene when he was in the psych ward or whatever they put him in. The first thing he did, I think he fucking attacked one of the crazy people when they were in like the rec room listening to records and stuff. He like strangled them. It was like all the retards were like, whoa! They're like going crazy because he started strangling them.
All right, we got Joey. We got Juanito. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna sound like a total old guy yelling at kids to get off his lawn and shit, but like Charles Bronson, fucking Van Damme, Schwarzenegger, Stallone. I mean, man, Seagal. That was the golden era of fucking action movies. They don't make them like they used to, man.
They certainly don't make them like they used to. But good to have you here, Juanito. It's thank you for dropping in every week as well and being a fan of Shotgun Candy.
That's not the one. Wait, okay.
We're talking about a different Charlie Bronson. We're not Charles Bronson, the action star from the 70s, 80s. He's different. We're talking about Charlie Bronson, the famous English criminal.
Prisoner.
And
don't burst his
if you want to see a good movie about a crazy guy, watch the movie Bronson with Tom Hardy in it. That's kind of what sparked my interest in this dude and AC's, I believe. Rocksteady hasn't seen the movie,
I
but
haven't.
In fact,
Joey Butts saw it, and but this is a guy from England who just got famous for being a prisoner. Like he was just a badass dude. He was just like a mischievous kid, a little on the rough side, and then became a victim of the institution and just a full-time career prisoner. I wouldn't even say he's a career criminal because he didn't even really do anything. He did most of his crimes in jail.
Right.
After he was locked up. I mean,
but every time those few times he was released, he always went for those like robberies. And like, I believe he pulled up the first robbery by robbing a post office. And then he did that jewelry store where he got £1,000 worth of rings. It wasn't much.
Yeah.
And then after that, over those next couple of attempts were failures and people said he wasn't a very successful criminal out in the streets, but
terrible criminal, but great prisoner,
like intimidator. Yeah.
Great fucking prisoner, like A grade, man. Yeah, like A grade. Fucking don't fuck with me.
A grade as far as the crooks are concerned, not as far as the system is concerned. They hated him. They're like, get this guy out of here.
Absolutely,
do another one. Get him going. Our guards are too beat up. We need to reinforcements, man.
He once drove a
I mean,
lorry.
they used to sick a handful of guards on him to escort him just from one place to the other.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude, he lived in his cell basically 24/7. They fed him in there. He didn't really get to go out and mingle with the other guys because he would just attack them.
He was attacking everyone all the time, man. But he was his huge thing, because he was in solitary confinement for so long, all the time. It was his training, and not training like gladiator style. It was like push-ups and sit-ups. He holds records for that, and I can skip right forward to check those.
Since we're talking about the movie, really quick, just to keep in context, let me play the. Let me play the trailer for the movie so people can get acquainted as to what this is. So,
sure.
And
great.
Let me tell you, it's super artistic, and this part is probably going to confuse anybody who hasn't seen it, because it's basically the director wanted to go in the direction of if he was doing a one-man show, like kind of a recanting of his life. So there's a bit of art in there as well, but there's definitely some realism. So let's check this out really quick.
This is on Twitch. If anyone wants to see the visuals, it's happening on Twitch.
You should be able to see it on Twitch and
Prison was.
Oh yeah, honestly, YouTube too.
Brilliant! I liked it personally. Oh, fuck that. I loved it. It was exciting. It was on the edge. It was madness at its very best.
We lost some sound there, I think.
The problem is, once you get comfortable, or sometimes even before, they ghost you again and again, moving you from prison to prison to prison. And I fucking hate that. Parkhurst, God bless that place. The accommodation was more than worthy of my royal self. Your own bed, toilet, a sink. The food was of exceptional standard. Yes, Parkhurst was a corker. And whole prison, well, what can I say? Well worth a visit. Scrubs, not my favourite place to visit, but the staff are ready to make your stay as memorable as possible. We had a laugh. How we laugh.
So yeah, I mean, pretty artistic, but also you can see the brutality in that. Like, he's definitely strangling people. He's definitely waiting for guards to extract them from the inside of his cell, which is one of his patented moves. He'd get totally naked. It's actually a pretty famous scene in the movie where he gets totally naked.
Yeah, because you see Tom Hardy's wearing. That's why it's famous.
His uncircumcised fucking dick. And I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I liked his acting, but some people were fascinated with that. That's cool.
It's part of his acting.
The head of his penis.
If you like that more than his acting, I get it. It's fine.
If it ever needs be, just hit me up in the backside.
Hey, you want me to?
All right.
Hey, you want me to piss in your ass or what?
We got a message from Juanito sitting here whenever we're ready.
Oh yeah, go ahead. He must have came late to the party because we talked about our subject early on, but Charlie Bronson. That name was. That's another thing about this guy. He's like, oh, that's one of the most famous action movie actors. Well, I'll just fucking take his name then.
Penny Lane says, "Thank you for playing the clip. This movie looks awesome." Yeah, if you guys are a Tom Hardy, and Crystal Sweet says Tom Hardy is sexy. You damn right. You guys think he's sexy? No, I think he's sexy too. I can see the appeal.
I might go Gladiator for the guy. I don't know.
Some people say I'm the Cuban Tom.
Are you going to be the
too,
strong bottom or the
not sure
the dominant?
Yeah, who knows, man? I would make him and Jason Statham fight it out to see who could take my hand. You know what I mean?
I want to throw this out to Penny Lane though, because she's from where I'm from, and I haven't really crossed this movie. Penny, have you? Because I think she would have maybe known as well, but I certainly didn't have a clue about it. So,
I don't think it wasn't like a huge release here, but I know several people that saw it, and a couple of people saw it from my recommendation because I was like, this movie's crazy. It's just insane. Because I didn't even know about this guy before I went in and saw that movie. I learned about him later because I was like, wait, this is a biopic? Like, who the hell is this dude? And I looked into him. I was like, this guy's crazy. We should talk about him.
He put his heart and soul into it, man. He put his heart and soul. You can tell that he became him, just like he became, the actor in Taboo. Just
I heard he actually banged his sister to prepare for that role.
Yeah. We mentioned this off air. The actual granddaughter of Charlie Chaplin.
Do you like pies?
Una Chaplin from Game of Thrones is also in that movie. So just puts a little icing in that cake. All right, if you want a little Chaplin action.
Yeah. Double Chaplin action we got going on here.
I didn't try to make his eyes lights. It happened. It just happened.
I know. I'm so glad that it looks like that. I love it.
Thank you.
But I'm lost in our timeline of this guy's life now. So he all this stuff happened before he was Charlie Bronson. He was just prisoner number whatever. Michael, what was his name? MGB, right? It was Michael something.
His actual name is
yes.
His actual name is Michael Gordon Peterson. Sorry, it's such a different thing than
Michael Gordon Peterson. That's I mean, how many more English names could a guy get? Right?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, exactly.
Joseph Wiseman. Yeah. Penny Lane says, never heard of it, but it's on Stan apparently. So yeah, I'll go and check that out. Awesome. Penny, I never heard of it myself.
Definitely worth watching. It's really done really well too. Like very artistic. I love the way they contrasted like that classical music and the theater with like just this brutal prison inmate guy who's just beating the shit out of people all the time. Plus, you get to see an oiled up Tom Hardy, totally nude, fighting 6 dudes.
Yeah,
that's just a bonus for the ladies.
Yeah,
so
that's it's for the ladies. For the ladies.
I really wanted to cue that up, but
and for some of the guys, we don't judge. Who cares?
Just imagine he's getting ready, right? It's just I couldn't cue it up because of his anteater penis was in the fucking thing. So
his sad elephant,
his sad
hanging
elephant,
there,
right? So he strips down and he's like, "All right, you're gonna have a fucking go at me then," and he's fucking just going with the Crisco and the butter and everything. So he gets really nice and oiled up, and he's bald. So everything is he looks like oiled up deaf guy from Family Guy, and he's ready to go. Like 7.
My favorite part of that scene was when he had the cellmate to get it in the crack of his ass. He's like, "Rub it down now, get it in there.
Rub it down now, get it in there." He's so insane with that. He's so funny.
Just nonchalant, like, yeah, make sure you get in my crack. You get all around the taint and everything.
Yeah, and with the fervor he says it, he's like, get it in there.
And didn't he? I think he started punching the cellmate before the cops got in there just to warm up his knuckles, I think.
We were obsessed with that movie. Because it was so fucking weird. And we have the weirdest, me and my friend, especially my friend Jason and Decker and I, have the weirdest, like, darkest humor, and that was like it hit anything that's that dark and weird. We're like all about it. It's like
I think I watched it twice in the same week. I was like, I got to see that again because it's just so much stuff that goes by. Like this guy, it's just like that guy's life. It's just so many crazy things that happen in such a like level timeline. It was one right after the other. It wasn't like any lulls. It was like, oh, this crazy shit, that crazy shit,
right?
And then the crazy shit always scenes were like. I don't know how true to life those mental institution scenes, but they did not make it look good to be crazy back in England.
If it ever needs to be, just hit me up the backside.
Hey, you want me to piss in your ass or what?
But like 1984 was like one of the more poignant kind of pivoting years as well because he did like 250,000 pounds worth of damage to a place, and he was just like not only unruly, but now he's becoming a liability cash wise, and so really he just.
Plus, they probably had a high turnover of guards too. He was probably beating the hell out of them, putting them on disability.
You're in a prison cell, right, or a prison room.
Yeah,
there's not fucking like, and I read 500,000 pounds worth. So say it's 250, the lower figure, right? There ain't 250,000 pounds worth of stuff in the room to destroy, right?
That was just 1984.
There are medical bills.
That was just 1984. Yeah, he's done much more than that. for sure.
Well,
Like-
he was. There's
No,
one.
but this
one
is like
famous
one
scene of,
time. This wasn't in total.
Right. This is like I just talking about in 1984. He cost
Yeah.
the place $250,000 with a protest. Yeah.
That's like 500,000 Australian dollars,
Mhm.
which is like, back then it's got to be at least double now, like $1 million worth of damage into a prison cell. I mean, you're talking about building a big ass fucking house here, like from scratch on land, and I mean he's throwing some fucking fridge freezers up the stairs because he's a pretty strong bloke apparently, right? And if he was bending cell doors and stuff, I mean, how much can that really cost?
With his bare hands.
Yeah, but I think
With his
was
bare hands,
84
like a fucking savage.
was
yeah,
84 the
strong.
year. Was 84 around the year that they had that big prison riot that he kind of started? Because I know he started a couple prison riots, and there's that one real famous footage of the prisoners sitting on top of the roof of the jail, and there's one with a black ski mask on, and supposedly that's him on that roof. Did you guys come across
He
that?
did a few riots. He
Yeah.
even had a one-man riot. So he was like one man creating a riot, and he had all these crazy demands. Like I've got them written down. I'll just show my
And a
phone
hunger
because
strike.
so many notes.
A hunger strike too. You want to
Hunger strike as well for like 15 or 18 days. I think it was 18 days,
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
But he's some of his demands, they're great. Like he's like, I want a helicopter to fucking some South American country, a cheese sandwich with pickles and something else. Like just some crazy ass fucking demands that he had. But guys,
what was the reason for the hunger strike? Like, what was he protesting? Like that there wasn't tough
I
enough guards for him
didn't
to
catch
beat up?
I didn't catch that. Did
I
you
mean,
guys see?
he's probably the conditions that he's living in. The fact that Joey inadvertently brought up a good point. Like that's actually a good point. Maybe he knew that he was going to get out every once in a while, and he felt that pressure of assimilating back into, normal society, and then not being able to, so he would sabotage himself and get more years tacked on, and then get progressively more aggressive. Some of this sounds pretty playful. Like he would fuck people up. He would strangle people, not to the point of death. Spoiler alert, that happens a bit later in his career. So just in case you think he's a fun-loving, he's just a little rascal, he's
It's funny that you say career.
It was a proper career that.
That's the only thing he ever did, right? I mean, other than being a laborer, he went right into this. Like it was like no turning back. It was almost like he was just like in poker we call it being pot committed. I just have too much. I gotta go. I put too much in this pot to fold at the river. So he was just like, fuck it. I guess I'll do the time. And then no one disrespects. It's a snowball. No one disrespects me inside. I got to assert dominance, but then you get crazy. You start like kidnapping or like assaulting a governor that comes, a warden.
Several times.
People that have
not just once.
Stature, people that actually mean something to the institution.
Strangling them as well. Yeah.
So
yeah,
Can you imagine having the balls to go after the warden of the jail, and actually being able to get to the guy. Like that's crazy to me that he fought
He was
through
in
all
the same
people, all
vicinity,
the locked
correct.
doors and all the guards, and then to take that guy hostage. That's some. They should have given him an award. They should have hired him to teach them how to make prisons secure, so people couldn't do shit like that. Because that dude was a bad. I'm sorry, keep hitting my damn table here.
That's okay, boys. But we got stacks of messages built up, and we'll end up sitting here for a while.
That's what we're all
let's
about.
knock them out.
Spam the chat. Let's go.
Juanito, here we go.
Love to see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna sound like a total old guy yelling at
this one. It's this one.
Lay down.
Wow, I'm a fucking retard. I didn't see the Charlie. It just read Charles. I was like, oh, I know who that is. What an ass.
All right. We've got 3 from Joey, 1 from Worm. 2 from Joey. Here we go.
I like Tom Hardy in that movie with Shia LaBeouf, or whatever the fuck, where they're they're running moonshine down south or whatever. Tom Hardy's character in that, where he's got the brass knuckles,
Public Enemy,
just punches people in the throat and shit.
Lawless.
Tom Hardy is a real man.
Lawless.
And a follow up here.
Yeah, I mean, talk about brave too as an actor. He takes on a lot of roles that dudes like him, he could do all action movies if he wanted to. But Bronson, then he had the scene where he buttered himself up with his floppy wiener.
Just talked about that one, and 1 more from Worm.
How did he get that?
Here's some quick feedback, guys. YouTube has a lot more stuff visibly going on, but Fireside is where I can react live. So that's really making it difficult to choose one or the other. On Twitch, I don't think I was able to see that clip that you guys were sharing. But
so send another message. I mean,
I'm enjoying the show.
I have.
Thank you very much.
Penny Lane.
I saw it on Twitch, but that's why Fireside's a little quieter today because everyone's sprawled out to different platforms. I think so. Yes, he's right. The interactions on Fireside, the other engagement messages and aesthetics are on other platforms. So it'll grow.
Anybody that's watching on other platforms, tell them how they can leave a voice message like these guys have been doing.
Yeah, there's no reason why you can't interact even better here with Twitch. Yeah, Worm, I did not. You asked me if I got those before. I didn't, but I've got Penny Lanes and Pilot Cars, Eddie's. I got everybody's. Send me another one.
Oh, that's because I permanently banned Worm from the channel. I just didn't want to.
That could be it. That could be it. Yeah, this is the whole reason for that, man. So we can interact even better. Have like emojis. Like Fireside's great, but it's basically a FaceTime. So this is like a little bit spreading our wings a little bit, I think. So I think as soon as we get used to it, I think you're gonna love it.
Well, Rock, tell them where to leave a voice note on Instagram, right? Your Instagram.
No, leave a voicemail on Instagram for shotguncandy_podcast _ You'll find us there, and just drop us a voicemail. I've got that ready to go. If you want to interact that way, you can also interact on Fireside by clapping and laughing. Which there'll be a point we switch those off though because they're great, but they're not realistic enough.
A little distracting and then robotic.
What's that? The laugh track?
Yeah, the fake laugh track there.
Yeah.
So I've got a whole bunch of his attacks that happened.
Oh, what? I'm sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, like so this is from 74 to 89. This is kind of a list of things that he did. So I'll read them all out. Ashworth Hospital, where Bronson spent some time as a mental health patient. Bronson was convicted of armed robbery in 1974, age 22, and sentenced to 7 years prison. So there you go. That's another different time. Again, I saw 18, 19, now 22. One of them's got to be correct. So, okay, he was sent to Walton Gaol and soon ended up in the punishment block after attacking 2 prisoners without being provoked. He was transferred to Hull in 75, and after refusing prison work, he smashed up a workplace after an altercation with a prison officer and was sent to punishment block. He was also injected with sedative chlorpromazine, which made him violently ill, and 6 months were added to his sentence. After recovering, he continued to prove a highly challenged inmate and was placed in solitary confinement for several months. He attacked fellow prisoner John Henry Gallagher with a glass jug and was charged with grievous bodily harm. Charges were later dropped, unlawful wounding, and he was convicted. 9 months were added to his sentence. He was transferred to another prison. During 75 to 77, he was switched between Wakefield and Walton prisons. He was taken from Yorkshire to London, chained to the floor of a prison van, kept in solitary confinement. He began a fitness program, continued to attack other convicts, and damaged prison property. While recovering in solitary from a beating given to him from punching 2 prison guards, Bronson was handed the divorce papers by his wife, and he attempted to poison the prisoner in the cell next to him. He was moved to another prison in 76, where he befriended the Cray twins, who he described as the best 2 guys I've ever met.
Yeah, he loved those guys.
He did, apparently. Yeah. He was moved back to Handsworth after threatening to kill a prison officer. He spent 4 months in isolation after he was caught trying to dig his way out of the cell. After being returned to the prison's general population, he caught up with the prisoner who had informed on his escape plan and attacked him, scarring him for life. Wow. The governor at Wandsworth wanted to transfer Bronson out of his facility, and only the C Unit psychiatric wing at Parkhurst was willing to accept him. Bronson was returned to the Isle of Wight. He attacked a prisoner with a jam jar and was again charged with grievous bodily harm. He attempted suicide and attacked another prison officer and was made subject to a transfer direction under order under the Mental Health Act.
Good Lord.
It goes on. There's a little bit more here. So in December 78, Bronson arrived at Broadmoor, where he was soon transferred and unable to adapt to forced medication, and in the company of highly disturbed and highly dangerous patients, Bronson attempted to strangle child rapist and murderer John White. He was apprehended just as White was giving out his death rattle. what's a death rattle? I don't know.
It's the last
his
sound
last
you make
cries,
as
I
you
guess.
die.
Yeah. He was returned to Broadmoor where he reunited with Ronnie Cray. And that's where he says that crazy scene. I witnessed them running into walls, using their heads as rams. I've seen them fall unconscious doing this. They stabbed themselves with pens, needles, scissors. One even blinded himself in one eye, and another tore out his own testicle. That one was just trying to eat him. There was one that was just trying to eat himself, biting his arms, legs, and feet. That's the psychiatric ward hospital stuff. That's one section. There's more. And this
Totally
is kind
insane,
of
man.
this is how it started, yeah. And he just grew from there. So as we're trying to deliver this story along the way, I don't
really quick.
I don't think without listing that we couldn't give the impact of just how sort of aggressive this guy was.
I want to give this as soon as I can because you guys can't see it. We're Million through Twitch chat says, "Oh fuck," and then he says, "I'm an idiot. Rocksteady is simulcasting on his own Twitch, and that's where I was instead of joining us here with immediate chat."
Oh.
Dude, yeah, chat it up with us, dude.
Well,
Chat it up
welcome
with
to
us,
the
dude.
welcome to the correct chat there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That might be
Yep,
confusing.
there he is. See that? You see the chat down there on the bottom of the Shotgun Candy?
What's up? This guy sounds crazy, says Crystal Tweaks. Yes, he absolutely is.
Dude,
Much better.
Crystal, this guy is fucking crazy. The career this man has had before 19... Okay, so his name is Charles Bronson. That's how we know him. Everything we've set up into this point, he's not even named Charles Bronson yet.
Correct. Yeah.
He still has to bare knuckle brawl. He still has to get that nickname from certain trainers and people in that world. He goes back to prison, not to mention the entire 2000s and what the man is doing now. So we'll try to be as concise as possible, but also we want to hear from you. So if you guys have a question or maybe we went over something that we might know, or please ask. If you guys want to leave a message, please go to our Instagram, leave a message there. You can leave up to a minute. If you have Telegram, you can do that as well. But yeah, leave us some interaction. That's how we do it. So yeah, I love this. Hi, I love this too. Worm says, hi, I love this. This is why we do it. Absolutely. Much bigger chat, much interaction. We can all see it there on the screen. So don't be shy. Tell your friends and share it and all that kind of shit.
Don't be shy. Give us a try. Give it a go.
Yeah.
Don't be shy.
It's kind of crazy though. It's so. At what point in time are we up to? We're up to 1984, right? Is that what we said? Is that or
that was? I believe so. Right. Yeah, and I mean it goes on from there. I mean his list is so long.
87 is lit, dude. And so in 87, soon after he returned to London and became a bare knuckle boxer, he took part in multiple underground fights, including killing a Rottweiler with his bare hands for £10,000 to fight. So
that's a lot of money in 1987. Mm-hmm. 10,000.
Damn yeah, fuck yeah.
10,000 pounds.
Also, killing a Rottweiler is a son of a bitch thing to do. But
a Roddy out of all things. We ain't talking about no fucking little yappy TT Chihuahua bullshit. We're talking about.
Hey, you want me to piss in your ass or what?
If it ever needs be, just hit me up in the backside.
Hit me up in the backside.
Just sit her up in the backside. She'll give you pee.
Worm says, "Don't be shy. Blow a guy on Twitch." Thank you very much. That's excellent.
Want me to piss in your ass or what, Worm?
Hopefully, if you guys have never heard of this guy, this is the time to get a little taste with us, and then go check out the movie. I know that Rocksteady's probably going to want to watch this now. And
damn yeah! I'm going to sit down with Penny Lane and have some popcorn and watch this shit.
Also,
now is it? There's actual interviews with the real guy too, right? Yeah. Like you can find video clips of him, and
we're going to play one.
That's nice because I didn't see any myself. Yeah. That's great. I'm looking forward to this.
Absolutely, yeah. We have 2 more clips to show. I don't want to blow the wad all over
let's move
yet. But since you're yanking,
let's stroking. Let's progress to it. Like what time period is this interview from? Is it a period we already spoke of, or is it in the future here in the timeline?
Worm says, hopefully, you think he'd go for it, the piss in the ass thing.
Maybe, probably.
I tell you, who'd go for it. Anyone he was pissing in their ass, they'd have to go for it because he was a strong motherfucker. He would hold you down, gladiator style, and turn you into a man overnight.
It's training. We can't stress that enough. This is for training to be able to be more fit and physically,
and flexible.
Mm-hmm.
In his self defense for these little gay quirks that we've just said, though, is apparently there was a dude that when he was sitting, I don't know if this was at the psychiatric ward or if this was in prison, but apparently there's a dude staring at him and he thought, wow, what the fuck's going on here? Let's this guy wants to have a go, you know. He said, I thought he was gay and he was going to bust a move onto me. The guy comes over and says, I want you to knock me out.
Oh.
And he said, why? He goes, because I like it. So he just went smack, 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 smack this guy up a few times, knocked him out, knocked 3 teeth out. And the guy was unconscious and he woke up and went, oh, yeah, like he loved it. And
Wow.
so it seems like he was far from the homosexuality, because he would have women writing to him in prison.
Oh, yeah.
And he got married several times in prison. You know, there was a woman that met him 10 times, visited him 10 times and married him. So he got the conjugal visits. And this dude, and I don't know what time frame, I'm imagining he visits like a couple of hours at max, right? But
and how often?
He fucked her 10 times in the time that he visited her, whatever time frame that was, I'm not sure. The shorter the better, right?
Yeah.
And he would just been a fucking savage animal. And she just reckons it was the best sex of her life.
Imagine not jacking off since fucking 1982. You know, you're ready to go.
Well, or only jacking off since 82.
Yeah, 6 times a day. 6 times a day.
There's a lot of that goes on in prison.
With only a bologna sandwich. Worm says on Twitch, personal trainer. And he says, I don't want to be inflexible. He wants to be ready to accept anything.
Can you put your ankles behind your ears, Worm, or what?
That's the that's the burning question.
That's the burning question.
I'll tell you what.
Something
try. He said I can try.
If you can answer that question, something will be burning for sure.
In 1988, moving the story a little bit along, on the 1st of January, so he waited for it to be the first. It's New Year's Day. What better thing to do than to rob a jewelry store? Keeping a ring on for his girlfriend, right, and just keeping the remainder of his loot. Did you already talk about this?
He kept the ring for his girlfriend, but I don't know if he knew the girlfriend at the time.
Right. And then right around that same time, he attempted to escape. He transferred from Brixton, London, where there's a very famous music hall there, the Brixton Academy, where a lot of really amazing bands play. And the Brixton prison in London, where he was placed in a high security unit that housed 16 prisoners. So now he was really up shit's creek, because the longer he stays in these things and the longer he's in administrative segregation, which is being by yourself, you're literally caging a monster. But then again, it's a catch-22. The guy is a monster that can't be in Gen Pop. So you have to
sure it is.
Right?
Yeah.
So he's back in prison, man. So he did stretches at Full Sutton, Wandsworth, Durham, Long Larton, and Birmingham. He was incarcerated at Parkhurst Prison on the Isle of Wight, which also has a great music festival. I would love to bucket list music festival to go to, Isle of Wight. He attacked fellow inmates, but he also got stabbed multiple times, right? So he also got attacked once or twice, and he refused to speak about the incident. And he was released from prison in 1992. And then he had, this is the part where he had one of his stints, 53 days outside. And then he just immediately he's like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Conspiracy to rob. Straight back in.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. I don't know. You lose. You fucking lose. Sorry. The price was wrong. So the guy has propensity for anger. You know, he's back out on the street. He's definitely institutionalized to a certain extent. He has access to grind. He feels like he's out of place. So what do? After 120 different places and mental asylums and all of that maladjustedness, just pop him back on the street. What's the worst that can happen? You know what I mean?
When he's done his time though, right? Like
right.
if he got to the end and but apparently when he left at this point in time, one of the screws said to him, "We'll see you again soon." Like just knowing he was going to be back, and he was. It was only a matter of time.
Let's go.
Short time at that.
Right. So
he didn't really have much life skills. He wasn't old enough to have developed like a trade or a real career. So he was kind of. I mean, what do you do when you go in when you're 19? You come out when you're like a grown man. You're kind of screwed. The only thing you learned to do was beat people up and live in prison.
So while he's out
it's
the outside, while he's on the outside here, let me just shed some light on exactly what you're talking about. So check this out. 16 days. He's living out, he already has a girlfriend. He's doing his shit. But 16 days from that 53-day stint, right? He got picked up, arrested again for for the ownership of a sawn-off shotgun, so a total fucking illegal gun that was modded. Conspiracy to rob, so he was going to do another robbery, so he was conspiring to do that. While he was incarcerated at Wood Hill Prison, he captured a librarian and made his demands to the governor, a helicopter, all that, and an inflatable sex doll. So that was one of his demands.
That's right. It was one of his demands. I want an inflatable sex doll, a fucking cheese and pickle sandwich, and a helicopter to Cuba or something like that, right?
That's right. That's right. Exactly right. And I mean, he was transferred to Wakefield then. You know, he would be 40 days in isolation naked. So he was no stranger to mental fortitude and what you needed to survive. I guess he really compartmentalized his mind in order not to go even more insane, because at the core, you never feel like the dude's totally insane, right? You feel like he's just...
Yeah, you kind of feel like it's an act, like he's putting it on to get to further what he was trying to do inside. You know, it's like he was using it like a tool, like this idea of his insanity, right?
It seems like that, but it seems that he, like, if I had to give my diagnosis on it, right, he potentially had these underlying issues, mental challenges already that came out at the time when he met the wrong crowd as a kid, sparked that off, and being a victim of the institution, not getting the right care that you need, just enhanced it and drove him really to that point. So yes, he's doing it. Yes, he's got to be careful being out in society. However, a part of it to blame, I wouldn't say a big part, but a part of it, I'm not sure what Mix will share, that is the institution as well as his behavior and responsibility. So it's just, I think it just created the perfect storm to create this beast.
Well, I think living in that world and dealing with all that stuff every day, that it's going to rub off on you, and you're going to have some collateral damage with your mental state. There's no way to avoid that, because you're just surrounded by crazy all the time. And if you play into it, you can convince yourself that, and if you had a touch of it in the beginning anyway, it's a perfect, like, atmosphere or ecosystem to germinate the insanity that's already, started in your brain.
Brewing. Yeah, that's right.
Kind of what I'm thinking of. You can't play that role every day, all day for that long.
No, you can't. Exactly.
Without it affecting you. Just look what happened to Jim Carrey when he played that movie with the Andy Kaufman movie. He kind of went nuts for a little bit because he became a crazy guy.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Sure,
yeah.
Oh, shit, we got
Worm says on Twitch, just to stay very current, I can try pickle and cheese sandwich, a man of sophisticated tastes. And then he says, why not demand a hooker? Just saying. Yeah.
How are you getting the full route? Because I'm getting like star. It can't say hooker on Twitch. Come on, pussies.
Maybe you got to adjust your.
Yeah, it's your settings there. It's your
settings. It won't let
my
rude
settings
words come through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's my Twitch is a pussy.
Yeah, turn it. Well, is it the Twitch or the Twitcher?
It's the Twitchy.
Well, I'm egging on the word pussy here. So, but we've got six messages in the bank here.
Messages. Let's go.
Let's knock them out. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Here we go.
Yeah, but if you're gonna be on Twitch, man, you got to be careful what you say, because you easily get banned. I don't know. I want to say I'm a fan of Twitch.
We're also on Rumble, brother, where you just can't be. So
yeah,
here we go. Follow up.
Yeah, watch us on Rumble.
Yes, but you can only be strong if you want to interact. And by strong, that means butt stuff.
We're lucky Joey's here, because Joey's right into butt stuff.
Butt stuff.
All right, so we've got 4 from Joey. Here we go.
How did he try to poison his his cellmate or the guy next to him? Hey mate, I made some really good soup. Want to try?
I've got this homebrew. You want to give it a go? Yeah. I don't know how he did it. I didn't actually get the information on that, I'm afraid. But we've got 2 more from Joey, not 3. Here we go.
All right. I wish they would have cloned like Charlie Bronson. You know what I mean? So that they could where these wannabe criminals, these active shooter pussy fucking, they could feed them to a Charlie Bronson.
Yeah.
When they do, if they do surrender themselves and not kill themselves like even bigger pussies before that. You know what I mean? I'd rather have more Charlie Bronson criminals than those fucks.
Heard.
Absolutely. You know what I would, if they would have cloned Charlie Bronson, that would have been
knocking down Stonehenge.
Charlie Bronson.
Stonehenge. Yeah.
You imagine if they did clone Charlie Bronson, do you think he would, take money to fight himself?
Damn.
Who would win?
Wait, in your cloning fantasy, there's a baby that grows up, or there's a human male that comes out of a tube?
It's an accelerated growth thing. So he gets to the age of, he gets to the age of whatever needs to be, and then he slows down to a normal thing. So they're exactly the same age.
So you're fighting a 1-year-old.
Charlie Bronsons.
You're fighting essentially a 1-year-old, but in the body of a 25-year-old or whatever.
No, you're fighting like a 70-year-old Charlie Bronson versus another 70-year-old Charlie Bronson. It's like one of them's an actual vintage, the other one's retro.
Strength? Can I give you an indication of his strength, through his push-ups and what he could do?
Oh, hell yeah.
So people understand, right? So it's kind of like further down, but since we're talking about this. So while in prison, Branson developed a fitness regime, and in 2008 claimed he could do 172 press-ups in 60 seconds, which is a lot, right? 172 in 60 seconds. That's crazy. It's like a few a second.
Move.
That's like literally almost nearly 3 a second. How the fuck is that
I can't
possible?
move any part of my body that fast.
Whoa.
So and he could do 94 sit-ups in 30 seconds. 94. That's just over three a second as well. So anyway,
I want to see a video of that, man.
Yeah, no shit. It's like machine gun fucking push-ups. So he claims, I'm the king of press-ups and sit-ups. I've already said I once did 25 press-ups with 2 men on my back, and I've squatted with 3 men on my shoulders. I've been making prison fitness records for as long as I can remember. Show me another man, a man half my age, who can pick up a full-size snooker table. I can. Show me another guy who can rip out 1,727 press-ups in an hour. 1,727 press-ups in an hour.
Holy shit.
I can. I once went 8 years without using weights. Then I went to the gym and bench pressed 300 pounds 10 times. I'm 5'11". I weigh 220 pounds. And I feel as strong as I did when I was 21. There's something deep inside me that pushes me on. I'm a solitary fitness survivor. That's what he claims.
Well, hold on a second. He could pick up a full-size snooker table.
Yeah.
Now that's a game like billiards, so that's a big old slate table. I don't know the size of an official one, but I know they're pretty damn heavy.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that one.
You reckon?
Yeah.
This 1,727 press-ups has been documented for sure.
But
so
I'm
that's fact.
The billiard table, pick up a billiard table. I'm going to say probably not.
Well, if he climbs
I would say that he
it,
got under it and he probably picked it up on his back like that. I don't think he picked it up like that. I reckon he would have. Yeah. So his legs were strong. Yeah.
I would like more.
I've seen big guys back up to the bumper of a pickup truck and pick the front wheels off.
Sure.
Like I know it's possible to pick it up. I mean, whether he picked it up and spun it on his finger like a damn basketball, I doubt that. But he probably moved it, and it usually takes at least 3 guys to do that.
It's a strong lad, man. That's some fucking serious weight.
A bit misleading.
Serious press up, serious fitness.
Just saying.
Going on. But that's all he had to do in his time. So yeah, he would have.
That is all crazy.
Just creating a monster like that. His job was to be stronger than all of the guards put together. So he took it serious, man.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. So there's so much more about his life. There's so much more.
What time about his life. How are we looking on time?
Yeah, let's head over to the other. We'll see you on the other side. Here's a lovely transition here. Everybody enjoy that. Let's get over to this.
Penny Lane. This guy was on coke for sure.
He couldn't be. He couldn't be.
I don't even get that in jail, man.
Actually, he was so particular about the people he was around, the women that he met, the women that were going to become his girlfriends, friends, or wives, that they had to dress a certain way, they had to speak a certain way, they couldn't smoke. He was really, really particular. He was fussy about that. So yeah, I don't even assume that he was actually on drugs. I think he was just
a fucking
wild man. Yeah, he was just savage from the mountains, crazy.
Yeah. I mean, and you could be that. You can try to be that in your mind, but maybe your body doesn't match at all.
For a day?
Like you had to be.
Yeah.
You had to be, like, oh, I want to rage. And if I was this, I would be this confident. And then your body's whatever. But like that, his body, fitness competitions, hardened, everything about him. It's like a shark. You know what I mean? Like a shark. What else can a shark be? when you get in the water and you actually look at a shark, what else could it be other than just a killing machine? Like that's what it's honed for.
That's what it was designed for, man. It's in the herd underwater.
Yeah. It's a missile. It's got teeth. It doesn't sleep. Like you know what I'm saying? It's trying to
get
you.
If it stops moving, it dies. You know, it has to move and eat.
And yeah, if that's what motivates that shark, that's pretty much the equivalent of what Charlie would do, because he didn't stop there. I mean, we're talking about getting into the 90s here.
Dude.
Oh man.
Let's keep going. Let's run down some more.
I want to say this part too, that when the documentary that I watched, it was amazing because it sounds like he can just handle like being in isolation by himself and staying in the hole for months or years at a time. But the way he talks as though his soul's been robbed, and he says he's not living anymore, he's just surviving. That's all. He's just present.
Right.
He says, in the morning, I wake up, he goes, and I have to go over to the bars, or the grill on his window, and press his lips against it to suck in fresh air. That's how secluded he was. So the glasses that he wears, that you see him in many, many photos, he says, I don't wear those glasses to be cool. I wear those glasses because I was in solitary confinement for so long. His eyes are so sensitive to the light, he can't bear to be around normal light for more than a couple of minutes. He gets bleeding headaches and migraines. Cool. So he has to constantly wear those fucking glasses. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he wears those little kind of reddish tinted round glasses, right?
Check out our Instagram.
Those little,
those little like tiny, like almost like Beatles, like John Lennon.
John Lennon glasses, yeah.
Right.
Little round Ozzy glasses.
Right.
Looking your way there, Penny.
Hey, everyone from Twitch is saying this guy was on coke for sure. Penny Lane, I don't know, but there was talks of him when he was younger taking down gallons of beer and partying. And then Worm says, sounds like a legend. Yes, he does. I like to shake the man's hand.
And he's still alive too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yes.
He's 70. Yeah, he's alive,
buddy.
Yeah, and he's still
70 years old.
Stick here.
Well,
I'm going to tell him, Worm, that you reckon you can beat him in an arm wrestle.
Yeah. I want to have Bob Sapp reach out to him to see if he wants to fight him.
Oh, he might kill Bob Sapp.
No, 70 years old. I don't know, man. But
hey, man, 70 is the new. I can still kill Bob Sapp.
70's the new 1,727 push-ups.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's true.
I know we're starting to run short on time there, guys. You want to run through a couple more things to get us more current on this guy's situation? Like what has he done? We know he took the name Charlie Bronson in 87, right? And then we're up to like 89.
Yeah.
What did he do all through the 90s?
Oh, so we've only got about 30 years to go.
That's easy. This is the fun
Go ahead,
part.
AC.
Oh, this is the fun part. Yeah, 1994, his father died, which he took extremely hard, and he was going insane, as per guards. He was saying that it just something that he couldn't process. So that very same year, I guess he took it out on some people that were two inmates that were in prison for hijacking, and another inmate whose crimes were unknown, hostage in his cell. And then he forced them to call him general and tickle his feet. So these are actually two.
Oh no, slow down, dude. This is a good part. I'm gonna get to this part. This is the I'm gonna find it through my notes, man. Like, I mean, so there was two. Where were they from?
Libya.
Libya, okay, and they were actually convicted terrorists, right?
That's right.
So he in one of the riots that was it a riot who he kidnapped them and he held them ransom, basically.
That's right.
Yeah.
These guys were in one for hijacking and one for unknown.
Yeah. And then there was a third guy involved too, but he basically tied them up. He fucked them up, right? He made them call him general. Like he's almost like he paid out the whole terrorist thing on them. And he made them tickle his feet, like, because he said it was nice when his partner before this, whichever woman it was at the time, would tickle his feet. He liked the feeling, so he'd made them do it for hours, and he had them held them ransom for hours and hours, right? And this is where he started making silly demands: helicopter to Iraq or something like that.
Yeah. So he demanded 2 submachine guns, ice cream, a plane to fly him to Libya, and then slashing himself with a safety razor, he let the captives go. So he'd slashed himself to make himself bleed and look fucking crazy, and then another 5 years were added to a sentence for that. So really, 5 years
is the part with the tin there, like he had the meal tray, and because he smacked one of them in the head so much with it, he felt bad at the end, so he bent down, he gave the guy, and he said, hit me 4 times to make it even so he could feel better. He allowed the guy to hit him 4 times in the head to make you feel better.
Oh my God, that's crazy! I did not know that. Come on,
now we're even.
Yeah, you think that, right? You think that. So,
Shit.
I'd like to. If anybody has kind of a reason to chime in, I want to give you one now. I wanted to ask us in the beginning, but we really just went so quickly. Do you guys, maybe you have something that you want to share as far as someone that you know that's been incarcerated? Have they changed when they got out? I know it's a very personal question. You don't have to, but if anybody does know of anyone that, and they can remain anonymous, of course, just maybe did they change? Did they go in a certain way? How did they go in? And does institutionalization actually make a difference here? So I think, a couple people hit it on the head. How long can you be in there without sabotaging yourself and not coming out? So,
oh yes, it's a bad situation, man. It never works to the way it's supposed to. The whole idea is to lock people up and rehabilitate them, but it's just a daycare center for insane people who just are violent. I think prison should be reserved for violent people. I don't think anybody that did crimes that wasn't violent should be locked up. Let them make amends to society. Like if they stole or they vandalized or something like that, they're fine people. They just did something stupid. But if you're like punching old ladies and kicking babies and stuff, like, yeah, lock that son of a bitch up because that's an animal.
Absolutely.
It's different. Yeah, different than defending yourself too. If there's violence and it's defending yourself, I don't think you should be locked up either.
Exactly.
But maybe the aggressor, if it's just a psychopath, I don't know. I think drug charges and things like that, let the people out, man. Save the prisons for violent offenders who can't live in society because people make mistakes,
Sure do.
And to put them in jail for it, that's stupid.
Give them a chance or two, and that's what humans do. After that, repeat offender like this guy, it's a hard line because the guy's like kind of testing it, right? In the first like 6 or 7 times, he actually got off pretty good. He'd only get a fine.
He's extremely violent.
He would only get, like in the first couple of times, he actually got a couple of passes where you were like, okay, you can turn your life around now. If there was like a scared straight program you could have gone to, but
you imagine sending kids in to see him for scared straight? Holy shit!
Oi, sit the fuck down, you little fucking cunts!
Grease up my asshole. Let's fight.
Yeah,
grease up my. Get in there, you fucking little cunts.
So I wanted to get in, I guess, to the nearest that we know of his life, but I also want to really quickly play a bit of this prison story. So here we go. Let me know if this tickles your fancy.
Looking at this on Twitch and YouTube.
Charlie Bronson's a good friend of mine. I've known Charlie for a long time. The system made Charlie Bronson. The Bronson is the system. That's his mum and dad. They lock him in cages, treat him like an animal, right? I know he's got a bad, terrible record, but underneath all that, he's a nice person, Charlie Bronson. He does all his art. He's never killed anyone. He's still banged up now. And this is going on. I've got loads of mates who are still in there now, like my co-defendant. He's never coming home, right? And he's got these other kids, outrageous murders like kids and things like that. And they treat people more like me, who's after a few quids, a lot worse than what they do child defenders. They want to bang us, want to lock me up,
Yeah. There's paedophiles out there just getting 6 months, deferred sentence, 18 months, and they're doing some nasty shit.
Yeah, so I mean, the guy's basically saying, dude, he's not a bad guy. It's that, what are you gonna do on the outside? He's a little bit. Does he have a temper? Yeah, he's gonna pop off a little bit, but is bouncing him around 120 to 180 different places in his whole criminal career, which he kept extending again inside the prison. It wasn't even like that much of an external thing. Yeah, he did robberies. He took a truck. I'm not sure if I could have. I said it earlier, but he took a truck and he rammed it inside of a store, like he did a proper smash and grab, where he took a lorry or a 18-wheeler and just bashed it into the front of a store. Took what he could.
It's pretty wild shit, man.
He's not good. He's not a good thief,
Well, was the store closed or was it open?
There was someone got seriously injured in that time. So I'm assuming it wasn't even nighttime. I don't know though.
To me, that makes a difference. Like if you're running into a store that has customers and you know that people are in there, that's a little bit different than, coming in the middle of the night when you know nobody's there. I think it's a difference.
What's Worm saying? This is by far superior to Schmear Schmeed. What's that?
I'm not sure. Schmear
Schmeyer.
rhymes with Schmeyer.
Schmeyer. I get it.
1 million, everyone.
Yeah, he gets it. We'll
Bard
explain it to you later. Yeah, great, good call out. Absolutely. I responded with 4 robot heads, so I hope that clears the air there.
Yeah.
So in the 2000s, just so we can get through this, because you're right, we are looking like
we're running out of time here.
Yeah, just about 13 minutes. So what we're going to say here to wrap it up is that in 2001, the now incarcerated Bronson, of course, did again marry a 31-year-old Sarah Raymond and her 10-year-old daughter acting as the bridesmaid. Along with a pen pal of Bronson, Sarah claimed that it was love at first sight. Quote, when I saw his picture, I couldn't get him out of my mind. I just, one of those things that I really couldn't explain in words. I just can't put my finger on it. Maybe I'm just a cloud-chasing...
whore.
Thank you. He's coming after you now, not me. And so in 2017...
Is he still with her now?
No, because in 2017, Paula Williamson...
You'd be happy I said it.
Who's a total fucking smoke show, by the way. Paula Williamson, after 5 months of visitations, the couple married on the 14th of November of the year of our Lord 2017. But by the next summer, Bronson had asked for a divorce. A photo of Williamson was leaked to the newspapers and of her holiday with a man's face between her breasts.
He was motorboating. He was going, and he saw that shit,
The honor.
and he was pissed. This is what I was saying before.
Be
his women had to be
crazy.
conducted like his women had to be acting like a certain way. They couldn't be whorish in any way. They couldn't be wearing certain clothes. Like, he was really particular about that. And when he saw that this actress had some dude motorboating his missus, he was just like, fuck that. And he said something about the catsuit, which I'm sure you're going to say next there, AC.
Really, I want to put the bow on it, right? So he changed his name, right? And people are saying now, like, for example, he spends a lot of time in solitary confinement. He's not a danger to the public. I would argue that he never has been. Out of pure frustration, he's tried to get attention by taking hostages and causing trouble, but he knows today that it's not the way forward. And that's Lorraine Earthington, Charlie Bronson's appeal fund, I guess, lawyer or social worker. So to put this all together, Penny Lane, he's a psychopath by definition. Yes, love. Absolutely. And Penny Lane goes on to say, in Australia, in indigenous WA communities, they teach you trades in prison, so they are upskilled and can hopefully positively integrate you back into society when leaving prison and reduce reoffending rates. Absolutely. Worm. Wait. Worm says, wait. His woman was not allowed to be motorboated. No, that's a dishonor. What a controlling bastard. I know. What a dick.
That's disrespectful.
So now this man's name is Charles Salvador in honor of his favorite painter, Salvador Dali, which is honestly mine as well. I have a print in the other room that I'm very proud of. I might put that back.
It's a fellow mustache aficionado guy. Yeah. They both had killer mustaches, them two.
I know for a fact that Worm hates this right here. Like, Worm is going to hate this. So I'm going to put up just a bit of his artwork here. There we go. Just a bit of his artwork here.
It's Charlie Bronson's artwork right now.
Well, we're doing that on Twitch.
Yeah, I'm putting that up right on Twitch and YouTube. So I can tell you right now, I do a show with Worm, who is a visual artist, and he has an issue with Jean-Michel Basquiat. So I know for a fact that this Wish.com Basquiat fucking irks the fuck out of him. Look at that. Look at that shit. It looks like I don't know. I don't even know. The tiny glasses does it for me. You know?
Oh yeah, that's a self-portrait. I've seen that before. Yeah. I think that was done. I think he's a purposeful artist. Like, he made it look juvenile and psychotic because that's how he sees himself.
Yeah, and that's really what he's feeling.
He's capable of doing much better work.
Sure he is. He's got a whole range of material.
He's got a lot of stuff. Yeah,
We've got 4 messages sitting here, guys. I'm going to tap them out quick. Man. Let's do it. We got Worm.
I'm not going to say it to his face, but I call bullshit. Let me see the video of this guy doing 3 push-ups per second or 3 sit-ups per second.
That's what I'm saying, dog.
And I'll retract my statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it seems unlikely when you think about that, but for the 1700 push-up one was recorded, like, I think it's documented. So, all right. We've got Juanito.
They probably just averaged it.
Juanito. I remember Frank Dukes lied too. Frank Dukes from Bloodsport.
$1,700 an hour. Jesus. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's literally nearly 3 a second as well.
Right.
Anyway, here we go.
Can't move any part of your body that fast, Elvis. That's
No.
not what the girl I was with last night said.
Ooh.
That
Damn.
cut short.
Hey, you want me to piss in your ass or what?
If it ever needs be, just hit me up in the backside.
All right, we got 2 from Joey.
I'd like to see him that part of the movie. He made those dudes sit on his shoulders and on his back when he was they're scared shit.
I am the
Sit
captain
on
now.
my shoulders before I fucking rip your head off.
Take on my feet, motherfucker.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, I had family. Like, yeah, it seemed like they would sabotage themselves, and it was like a mechanism or something. It was one of my uncles. Like, he was in and out of jail. I don't even know where he's at now, but he would, self-sabotage, whatever you call it, and. But oh man, it's everybody's out to get. It's just like trouble just finds me. It's like maybe they, like in hindsight, maybe he was the same way. Like I can't handle it out here.
Right.
I need to go. And he once said to my dad, he said, "I thrive in prison environment. Like thrive in prison environment. What?
Yeah,
yeah, he's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
I thrive in an ant farm. I really do. I love it.
Yeah.
People don't really understand. There's some people that have gone away for even think about this. Something that makes me absolutely infuriated is people who are wrongfully in prison, just to make sure that the detectives and the prosecutor got their win. That infuriates me. There's a couple of really awesome kind of corporations and organizations, rather, that really handle that, like the undoing of that, and that really interests me too. Like wrongfully.
Well, the West Memphis 3, man. You ever heard about them guys? We should do a show on them.
Yeah. Just wrongful convictions in general. That sounds great.
Yeah, just craziness. And then having to admit guilt just to get out and everything.
Exactly.
Just so it doesn't look like on the books that the law was wrong. But the law gets it wrong sometimes, man.
Absolutely.
I think they got it wrong in Charlie Bronson's case. I think if he had better environment when he got out, maybe just not lock somebody up so hard for petty crimes when they're young, you wouldn't create a guy like that.
Right. Exactly.
I think it was the perfect formula coming together. It was probably in him. It may have been suppressed for longer, but the system just brought it out fast and hard. But here's some words that he said about his eyes and so forth. He said, "My eyes are bad due to the years of unnatural light I have had. My vision is terrible. I have to wear shaded glasses even to read. Years of solitary have left me unable to face the light for more than a few minutes. It gives me terrible headaches if I do. Years of loneliness in small cells have left me paranoid about people invading my space. I now can't stand people getting too close. They're crowding me. I hate people breathing on me. I hate smelly bodies coming near me. Mouths to me are simply for eating, never for kissing. A man needs a routine to cope with such an extreme situation. For me, it's my push-ups and sit-ups. I also pace the room and count each step. Some I know lie down on their beds for 3 hours on their left side, 3 hours on their right side, and 3 hours on their back." That's what he said.
Oh my God. Wow. Insane. All you have is the game of counting everything that you do. How many teeth do I have?
That'll drive you nuts too, man. That's crazy.
Can I feel it? Can I feel it?
End up counting heartbeats and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Counting heartbeats and like synapse in my brain. How many are firing off today? Like, wow, that's what is.
Now you got me thinking like I'm gonna be crazy by the end of the day because now I can't stop thinking about that.
Yeah.
But, boys, I think we got to wrap it up, man. It's getting close to.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do that in a second. I'm going to be cheeky here and just see if I can skip straight to a part at the end of a documentary I heard where he speaks. And if I'm lucky, just give me a second. Go right up to here somewhere. Out there.
What fucking?
Oops. Oh shit.
I also have a call with him here. We can do it. There it is.
I think that the system has got a great, very displays to my son.
Here we go.
I'm gonna survive. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna be free.
I want to be free. Some people might think I'm institutionalized. Some people might think, Charlie's been in there too long. They probably say he loves it in prison. Well, I fucking don't love it in prison. I want to go home.
So did you hear that? So here we are thinking maybe he's
And that's kinda
institutionalized, but that's pretty clear. He doesn't want to fucking be there.
Sounds like a damn
But
demon.
you think the common sense would say, then just behave. Behave for a certain period of time, you get the fuck out.
But something inside you just doesn't let you. It just doesn't let you. You have to retaliate. You have to be respected. You have to stand your ground. There's some people are just wired differently. Where we would find
some people fight every fight and they don't choose the battle. You know, they just jump into everyone that's in front of them. And sometimes you don't need to do that. Sometimes you step aside or wave the white flag for a minute until you get what you need.
Exactly.
Or if you think you're a fucking smart ass and you're going to win, but you know you're not, just give the fuck up.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's eventually he'll die, and that'll be the final lesson he learns, that you can't beat the whole system when it's, you know, when you're playing their game, you can beat it if you play your own game. But he's playing their game. Like, okay, you do this, you get punished again. You do this, you get punished. Now, submitting to it and getting out of it is not really, because they don't want you to get out. They want you to stay in there because they make money when you're locked up.
That's right.
They don't make money from the free walking around tax-paying citizens. They don't profit from that at all. You know, they want you to fuck up. Policing is a big business, man, and jailing is an even bigger one. They make a lot of money.
Oh yeah, jailing is
so
privatized. Jailing is, you know, is amazing.
But the only way you win that game is let the other team think they won, and then you walk off the field and go home.
Right.
But that is his home. So he essentially let them win.
Be silent.
By fighting them.
Be silent
on
and
their
carry
field.
a big dick, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, walk softly and have a big dick.
Yeah.
He was always had the chance to get out before, but up until about 2000, I think it was, he ended up getting a life prison sentence because he held a teacher that was a civilian somehow exposed in the prison. He took them hostage, and he ended up making some demands again, helicopter and so forth that he wanted. I don't know what he was going to do with his helicopter all the time, but he had him locked down for about a day. He knocked the guy out from behind, tied him down, made him watch a movie about people being kidnapped and so forth. And then he realized when it was time to wind up that if he went a little further, up to 44 hours, he would hold the record for keeping this guy hostage. So he did that, and that actually earned him a life imprisonment. And I think it was just the fucking silliest move ever. But yeah,
that is insane.
He totally trashed the fucking room. This guy that's traumatized from the situation said he was picking up big fridge freezers and throwing them up the stairs, like throwing shit, like just a fucking like savage, strong man. Like, I can't emphasize the strength of this guy.
Speaking of which, we did mention that he was a circus strongman, right? We mentioned that.
No, we didn't. No,
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
That's another job that he had.
He was a circus strongman. Yeah. When did he get a chance to do that?
Very
when
young,
he was a teenager.
Young on, yeah, when he was a teenager, as one of his
What?
jobs, aside from like the
Wow.
laborious ones, he was also, which is like a freak show, like so like already you're dealing with a different type of person that obviously was made to combat, and this person would not be denied. Like, and pride is a bitch because you're in jail and you probably feel a lot of pride, and now like these four walls are like a challenge, right? And I know people like this, you know, not to this extent, but like these four walls are a challenge, and if I can get through this, fuck you, I'll get 5 more years, motherfucker. You know, like those kind of people who are like, I don't give up, I will do anything to get through this. I'll show you. And who ends up suffering is that person. You know, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Pride's a bitch.
All right. We've got 2 messages here before we start to wrap it up, guys. So they're both from Joey Butts. Here we go.
Joey Butts.
Especially in this country where you have privatized prisons, which I hear privatized, I hear that's a business. So what's their business? Fucking having prisoners. So, you know, as opposed to rehabilitating these criminals that might have started when they were really young, let's just keep putting them in there because it's a business. That's fucking a crime against humanity that I can't even stand.
Yep.
And to think about all the people that have been wrongfully imprisoned, there was just not too long ago. old black dude for like 30 plus years, lost his whole life. I mean, could you imagine this motherfucker came out and he was a straight fucking G about it? Like, I'm out now. I'm thankful. Like, I would be like, fuck all you motherfuckers, dude. Like, you know what I mean?
With a 7-second follow.
Right. I was going to say the circus strongman thing. He was doing that until one of the lions looked at him the wrong way. And
yeah. And he was like,
he jacked his jaw around the back of his neck.
The bearded lady gave him a BJ. He's like, I'm out of here. I'm fucking out of here.
Hey, bearded lady. Hey, you want me to piss in your ass or what?
If it ever needs be, just hit me up in the backside.
Hey, bearded lady.
All right, guys, this is it. We're coming to the end of this week. So
we fucking did it.
Thank you very much for joining us.
We worldwide.
Yeah, we're starting to branch. It is still quite new to us, and we're figuring it out, but we'll get there. Thanks to those who have joined us here on Fireside. We can see you all there, but I'm not sure where I'm looking for other platforms at the moment, but we'll bring this together. We'll bring it home, baby.
Yeah,
just looking at the camera and smile.
Yeah, I think to them, it's a flawless product right now. So they have no idea.
Nice.
Everything is flawless back here, and everything is exactly like it is in Hollywood. We know. So
yeah, we're perfect, except we don't touch little kids.
Yes. Ooh, yeah, and I'm gonna get my teeth whitened. I think so. In a couple of weeks, you're gonna see some very pearly white Matt Dillon type chompers, big old veneers. So
I'm gonna get my butthole bleached, but you're not gonna see that.
Oh fuck.
Hey, you want me to piss in your ass or what?
I'm pumped for today. You guys are
If it ever
amazing.
needs be, just hit me up in the backside.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh,
any last words, final words, boys, for this week?
Everything's coalescing.
No, man, just thanks for everybody that joined us and interacted with us, and the people that didn't interact and just were here to listen. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. No, pretty good for our real actual second time out with this stuff. So lots of interaction. We're looking for more. We'll see you next week.
Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell our enemies.
Yeah.
Our enemies are watching us anyway, so fuck you guys. For those that are watching us,
just want to say, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you. Fuck you,
all right, let's cut that.
That's beautiful.
So yes, that's to our enemies. So fuck you.
Beautiful.
What
was
else?
lovely.
There was.
That's it.
We'll see you all next week, huh?
Yeah, next week, man. We're gonna bring another topic. We're gonna keep bringing you the fire, the rain.
Yeah, I think I've got something great in mind, actually. Something that's a little more like Gladiator style. So that'll be fun.
We'll also, we'll also take suggestions. If anybody wants us to talk about a certain thing, if you let us know on one of our social medias there, Shotgun Candy everywhere. Just send us a message if there's something you want us to talk about. We probably have it in the bag, and we just don't really have an order for talking about it. So we kind of just come up with something.
Mm-hmm. Just for you. Just for you.
Yeah.
We've done it. Mike Tyson.
And we'll give you a special shout out. Did we want to give a couple shout outs before we go, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Especially, right? Especially the Phuket team.
Top team.
Yeah.
Phuket top team.
Yeah.
Boyd Clark, you and the crew down there, which we're just compiling the last of this sponsorship together, and we thought we'd have it together for this week. It's not quite ready till next week, but giving you a shout out regardless.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much for keeping us in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And we got some friends and other podcasters that have been watching us, having fun with us behind the scenes a little bit. We'll give those boys a shout out there, right?
Sorry, say that again, sorry?
I said we got a couple of other podcasters and creators that have been, having fun with us behind the scenes.
I want to give a special shout out to Three Little Pigs podcast and Dave, who's in the Three Little Pigs podcast. He just put together a little video for us before, which we can't out of protection mode for him. We won't say he'll do anything just yet, but it was great, Dave. Awesome. It was wonderful for you to send to us. The boys love it. In fact, Elvis,
I was laughing my ass off, man, when I saw that. Yeah, keep it up, man. I love that back channel talk with some people, and then maybe we'll get together and do something live with those guys and talk with them.
Hell yeah. And
Be
we're looking
absolutely,
and we're looking to possibly
do a little cross promotion there.
Yeah, something like you said to play off what you're saying, Elvis. We're probably looking to do something maybe in the middle of the week or something like that, because honestly, we need to get affiliates. So please follow us. Number one, we need to get to 50 followers at least. Faster than normal, so we can become an affiliate, so we can actually get subs here on Twitch, and then that will be really great for everybody because you get more badges and emojis and bullshit. So that's going to be
More fun.
Yeah, more fun,
Big
more shit,
fun.
more candy, more shotguns, and
Let's do it.
yeah. So we'll see you guys next week, boys.
One more message from Joey, a short one. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I got a suggestion. How about next show you do Charlie Bronson, the actor, this time?
Oh, actually, Charles Bronson. Wow.
That's actually a pretty cool idea. I really don't know much about him. I know some of the movies, but I
know
don't
nothing
really know
about
much
him.
about him.
No, not at all.
So,
That's
yeah,
it.
We'll see then.
We'll take all suggestions for the next couple of days because we need a couple of days to at least to prepare for the subject
Sure.
and stuff. So
Yep.
if you have any ideas, get it in. We might not do it next week, but we might do it the following.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if I guess lastly, if
All
you
right, guys,
see-
I gotta get a smoke, take a piss, and get some more coffee, man. This
Fuck yeah.
day's about to begin for me after this.
If you see me gaming
So,
on here, join me and say hello. I might pick up the sticks just to get the minutes for affiliate. So that's all. I love you guys. I'll see you next week.
All right, we're going to stay on this one, boys. We're going to shut it down on this one, and we'll have a chat here. All right, guys, thank you very much. There's no outro music today. We're just going to end the show, so I'll bring these boys down off stage.
Oh yeah.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Off Fireside. Here we go.